What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I did a show on Saturday, didn't do a show on Sunday. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Terence Crawford, Victor Conte, and Vada, and some very big questions that need to be answered. Now, for all the phony attorneys out there, and all the guys out here who think they can send notes to people and intimidate them, I am going to make sure that nothing that I say in this video can possibly be considered defamation. Man, I hate how slow my internet is. I don't like Spectrum. Let me say what's up to everybody. I hope Spectrum will get their act together and I don't get all kind of delays. Denali Smith, what's going on? Jose Lopez, Gabe Toss, Andy Gill in the building. What's going on, man? The beautiful Barbara D, Andy Gill, David Howard. Good morning, David Howard. Always good to see you, man. Nuke the Duke in the building. What's going on? Hunter Young said, like a line from Mooney. I got questions, damn it. Oh, we got questions. Yes, I do. I got questions. What's going on, Control LeGrew? What's up, man? Andy Gill, Chris Brooks, Eon BS. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Aeon. I think that's Eon. Vi Ferrer, what's up, Vi Ferrer? How you feeling, man? Grip today, Thailand in the building. What's going on? Up undercard boxing in the building. What's happening? So let me tell you something, man. Okay. First and foremost, I want to make something for the people. I'm going to wait till 200 people come in the building. Once 200 people come in the building, we'll keep chopping it up. What's going on? The real baby J in the building. What's happening? What's going on, man? I got a conspiracy theory. And this is just a conspiracy theory. You know I'm fitting to sue you niggas, right? Man. What's up, Jay Henderson? Look, man, I want to show you something. Shout out to the Pull-Out Bandit. Pull-Out Bandit enlightened me to something this morning. What's going on? Lamont Hamlin. What up, man? How you feeling, brother? You funny, man. What's good, man? Yeah, they played with the wrong one, bro. But look at this shit. This guy, look what this dude said. Your boy, bare butt boy. Hey, man, there's this guy on Twitter go by the name of Bare Butt Boy. Man, bro. Better, bro. That's what's up, man. Lamont Hamlin in the building. What's up, man? God's greatest. What's going on, man? Hey, Jay Mills said, in respect, Mr. Blessings in respect, Mr. Martin in the chat. Bud Dirty. Yes, I said it. Hey, man. That's the opinion, huh? Well, here are the questions that we have. I have to give a shout out to Manager Marty, and I'm going to give a shout out to Boxing Ego. I'm also going to give a shout out to 2 Cent. I'm also going to give a shout to the Boxing Outlet and Ross from the Boxing Outlet and all the other people that have been doing very, very attentive research to issues around Vada and Vada testing for fighters. I have to give these guys all shots out because of the great work that they do. Shot is Deem in the building. Deem too. Cook that Vada test scam. Oh, Control D. Cook that Vada test scam. Look, man. There's some questions that have to be answered, bro. Why doesn't the Vada website have Terence Crawford on there for being tested since October of 2020? That is a very fair question. Do you know why that's a fair question? Because Victor Conte himself in the past has wondered why the PBC does not release testing results. Several years ago, Victor Conte was on a tirade against PBC fighters for not releasing test results. So when I am directed to go based off Manager Marty, let me give you the credit to the guy that's doing the thinking. I'm not doing the thinking. All I'm doing is the listening, right? What's going on, Ron Middleton? Why on the Vada website does it say that? Why is the last test for this listed for Terence Crawford on the Vada website that I can see? Why is that in October of 2020? Now, that's a very fair question because Victor Conte said that the PBC doesn't release his test results, right? So why isn't Vada releasing the test results for Terence Crawford from 2020 forward? Why isn't he? I'm assuming that he got tested. I mean, he said, we did some major research on Vada's site. There are several discrepancies about that site and what it is and what isn't published on it. October, yeah, exactly. October, he has not, according to that website, the last test that they have put out there for Terence Crawford is October of 2020. Mo Presh said, I've been arguing about this with naive fanboys for 3 years now, and I'm past exhausted. Hey, J Mill said, if Conte and Bud be loud about cheating, I can say he a cheat. Big back, hashtag big back, hashtag busted gloves. Look, absolutely, you have the right to think that. You have the right to suspect that. Just like I have the right to suspect that wasn't really Bud's attorney that contacted me. I'm going to act as if it was Bud's attorney that contacted me. But after having seen some things that some other people wrote, it was written in the language of these other people. It was written in the language of other people. So I don't know whether or not Bud, who's in the middle of training, actually made a decision to do that. However, I am going to abide by my promise to whoever that was and tell you this. These are open questions about Terence Crawford and anybody that's with Vada. I didn't see Jaron Ennis listed on Vada. He is a snack athlete, but I don't see him listed on Vada. But I think, what do you mean you think Bernie the Boxer undercard? Look, it doesn't matter. It's literally the fucking worst. It's the worst argument that you could possibly make. And it's a worse decision that they could have made because now I'm going to talk about Bud all the time. And I'm going to preface everything that I say, Bernie, that this is not defamation. I have the right to have an opinion based off facts that I do not know to be untrue. Okay? I have the right to express my opinion based off facts that I do not know are untrue. Now, Bernie, you may not be the smartest lot in the book, but I said that shit on purpose the way. Now, go hire a lawyer to go tell you what I just said. Go spend some money on a lawyer to figure out what I just said. I have the right to express my opinion on based off facts that I do not know. Listen, I do not know to be untrue. I do not know to be untrue. You would probably never write that sentence in your life, Bernie. But if you keep going over it and over it and over it and over it, you'll see what I'm saying. I have the right to express an opinion based off facts that I do not know are untrue. For example, say the world is flat. It's not defamation for me to say that the world is flat. You dumbass. Anyway, I'm sorry. My mother and my wife want me to be peaceful today. According to Mr. Goodman, that's not on he's not on there if he didn't test. They post when you pass what? According to Mrs. Goodman, he's not on there if he didn't test. They post when you start and if you finish. Oh, so that means according to the Vada website, if this is true, if what Mo Pressure is telling me is true, let me once again try to get you, Bernie. This is not defamation. I know you be out here on Bernie Boxer is probably, this is my educated guess, the one that blocked me on Instagram, even though I had never said anything about Bud. I've been saying this since the Spence fight. Bud was never even confident he was going to beat Spence until after the fight was over. Just look at the stuff he was saying. Can something be defamatory if it damages a person's reputation? Not just because it damages their reputation. No, you have to make something. It has to be something that's untrue. It has to be something that's untrue. You have to, if somebody's a celebrity, you have to make a statement that first of all, that you know is untrue for the purposes of defaming him. Okay? Just if you say something that's not true sitting in your house, that's not defamation of character because there's no damages. Your opinion is not a defamation because the truth is the truth is an absolute defense to a claim against defamation. So say, for example, I say that Terence Crawford's gloves exploded in the ring. That's true. His gloves did bust in the ring, but you could argue if they didn't explode, it's not true that they exploded. They just bust open. Yeah, but you know what I was talking about. They bust up, they fell apart in the ring, and that's illegal. That's a fact. You're not supposed to be able to hit somebody with a defective glove. I do believe that is in the rules. But anyway, I don't know. Hey, watch this shit. Hey, here for Booty Boy. Here for Booty Boy tweets about you daily. In the tweet, and in the tweets, he alerts Conte, Glazier, Bud, and the Spit podcast. Yeah, because they're a group of fucking there. Look. I know they work. I believe they work in collusion. The Pull-Out Bandit. I believe. I do not know this to be true as a fact, but I believe that group of people work together. Conte, Glazier, Bud, Spit podcast. Here for Booty. His name is Here for Booty. Call him the right name. Here for Booty. Here for some booty. That's what that nigga is here. Here for booty, smelling like booty, booty breath. Any of the booty breath. Don't worry though. I got a meeting with my attorney today, and my attorney is the best, and she loves me too. My attorney is the best, and my attorney loves me because my attorney she was my mentor in law school, and then she went to work for this this huge law firm, basically the most profitable law firm in the country. She was a partner for them for a lot of years. So anytime that I need any type of legal advice or I need anybody to make a call for me, she's not going to charge me the $5,000 an hour that she would charge for somebody else. Literally, the woman that I'm going to have call these people is $5,000 an hour to get her out of bed. So she will take my call for less than $5,000. I do not have to. She clerked for a Supreme Court justice. Trust me, she's the baddest chick on the block when it comes to this law. So, and she likes me, and she says she takes my calls for free because she likes me. She taught me how to write. Literally, she's so smart. She went to Brown. She went to Howard Law, but she came from Brown University. So brilliant. Won't say her name, but just so brilliant. Fanon, you got on the polo, you know he's not playing. Fanon got on the polo, you know he ain't playing. No, I'm not. Look, Spit Bucket Podcast, a Shitbox Podcast, Booty Boy, Victor Conte, Bill, all you Negroes. I'm nice. I am. I'm being very, very nice. This is a joke. It's a joke. My wife wants to make sure I'm nice, so she heard me calling this clown Booty Boy. Anyway, yeah, let's get back onto this. These are very valuable questions that we need to ask. We have to ask, and we need answers to these questions. The question posited by Boxing Ego is the following. Why does the letter from Victor Conte, why is it dated June of 24, right? Why is this information that's been leaked? Why is it dated October? Why is it dated June of 2024 for a test result that's supposed to be a year later in June of 2025? Also, if these are legitimate testing results, why aren't these testing results on the Vada website? Why do you have to leak something when these are not even on the Vada website? Also, very good question. Why are you guys trying to sell 24/7, 365 testing when there is no such thing as 24/7, 365 testing? The most testing that you're going to do is over a 12-week period. So why don't you call it 12-week Vada testing versus 8-week Vada testing so that everybody can know that you're really just trying to stretch it out for another 4 weeks? Huh? If he didn't test for the Madmarov fight, according to the Vada website, he didn't test for the Errol Spence Jr. fight. I do believe that would have meant that he probably hasn't tested if this information in Vada is true. If it is true that all Vada testing goes on the Vada website, if that is true, then it appears that Bud Crawford has not tested with Vada since 2020. I do believe that is a long ass time. And the David Avocado fight. He didn't test for the David Avocado fight either, according to this report. Not to the report, according to Vada's website. So can we please have somebody explain to me how this could possibly be? And I want to know why it's okay for Here for Boxing, Here for Booty. I want to know why it's okay for Here for Booty to say that Oscar Duarte popped dirty, and he will pop dirty in the next couple days. Do you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like a confession. It sounds to me like a confession, because Here for Booty is definitely a paid bot. So why would he choose so openly to be such a hypocrite so openly? I wonder. Why would you say that he's gonna test positive? It almost sounds like you're saying a combination of what I said and what Sean Haney said. Remember when Sean Haney said, I know he's gonna test positive this week? Remember that? That's so Here for Booty. You're doing like a little mashup of because you got busted being a hypocrite because you know damn well I didn't do shit wrong. Y'all got all excited and thought y'all were going to intimidate me with a defamation threat, which don't make no damn sense. So I need to know, why are you doing a mashup Here for Booty of my statement and Sean Haney's statement? Sean Haney said God told him. I'm telling you, so did this guy Here for Booty. Here Booty just said, I hate to break this to you, but he's going to test positive later this week. It's the same thing. He may not have said God told him, but he made the same prediction. So if Oscar Duarte tests positive this week, it's going to be real interesting. Oh, no. My theory for him, Barbara D, is that he has to make a living. Let's just say this. He has to make a living, and he gets paid for these things. I bet you he enjoys talking to me on a regular basis. Well, he doesn't get to speak to me. He doesn't get to do that anymore. He used to probably make more money when I would respond to him. But I'm not going to respond to Here for Booty. Other than to say, dog, why are you doing that mashup, bro? Because you're trying to get my attention? Yeah, that's what it is. Durante, what is this? Oh, versus Ryan Part 2. I'm telling you, man, it's a mashup. The dude did a mashup, so I know he's on some cornball stuff. Anyway, so those are some terrific questions that need to be answered. And so which is it? Is Vada? Now let's look at the potential answers, okay? If you don't mind. Let's now evaluate the answers, okay? Now I'm going to give you the most plausible answer that works for Victor Conte, works for Terence Crawford, works for all of the Vada organization, works for Bill Haney, works for Devin Haney. I'm going to make an argument that works for them, that makes sense. It's going to be the best argument that they can make, that these are administrative errors. That's all it is. It's that there are administrative errors. Clearly, it was an administrative error on the leaked Vada test that was not published by Vada, that was published by somebody else. You can't claim it's an administrative error on a leaked test. A leaked test that the Vada website does not have on there. Right? So you just say it's bad administrative errors. So watch this. Here's a problem with that. If these are the result, Victor Conte, of administrative errors, because that's what you should say, Victor. You should say these are administrative errors. Clearly, Vada doesn't have a webmaster that can keep the date and update that website. Clearly, they don't have that. So clearly, they need to put more money into the administration of their website. But here's the problem. If they don't have the money to administer their website properly, how am I to believe that you guys have the money? You guys have the money to properly administer drug tests? Because it takes a lot more money to properly administer drug tests than it does to properly administer a website. So I have to wonder, if you can't run a website in a fashion that is efficient and effective and gives me the information and makes it so that I don't have to answer these questions, why should I believe that you guys have the administrative wherewithal to test all of these fighters in a way that your system cannot be compromised? Please replay what I just said. That's for you low. I'm gonna restate this for you dumbasses. Okay? Barbara D. Said, does Vada have its own facility? No, it does not. Vada relies on WADA accredited labs to do the testing. Even if Crawford beats Canelo, the fight will forever be marred with suspension of cheating, in my opinion. Oh, it will be for me. But honestly, man, I suspect cheating of a lot of fighters. Oh, I'm sorry. Barbara D, I have to do a disclaimer right here for people that want to act like they're lawyers. This is not defamation, what I'm saying. The fact that these drug tests, that there's a discrepancy on a leaked drug test from Terence Crawford, and also the fact that there's not any registered drug tests on Vada's website for Terence Crawford since 2020, makes me highly suspicious of Vada as a legitimate testing organization, because it doesn't seem that they have the administrative wherewithal to answer questions in a way that I'm not confused. So they rely upon me just saying, well, what? Hey, say, damn it, Fanon, I don't want your wife to kick you off. You can't say dumbass. Just say smart ass, anti-smart donkeys. Yes, sir. I sent Margaret Goodman my standard fee to get her website up. I sent Margaret my standard fee to get her website up to code. We'll see what happens. Thank you. Please help her out. Somebody, we need some pro bono. Now you see how that can ride. Hey, look, now once again, let me make sure that any of you guys that think you can get me for defamation for asking questions, you cannot. I am literally wondering, why does it say that Terence, why does this website make me believe or lead me to believe that Terence Crawford has not completed Vada testing since 2020? It makes me believe that Terence Crawford has not passed Vada, has not successfully concluded Vada testing since 2020. Please let me know why it doesn't have it on the website for the fight with Ismail Madmarov. Please let me, and guess what? Victor Conte is on record, I do believe, of complaining about the PBC not releasing its Vada tests. They got tests, but they won't release them. So they got on Al Heyman for not releasing tests. But it seems like Terence hasn't released a test result since 2020. Or he has not had a test since 2020. We don't know because he hasn't released them. Isn't that what you said, Victor, when you were talking about the PBC, Victor? That's not defamation, Victor. It's not defamation. I can say that. I can ask those questions, Victor. None of this is defaming it. None of this is defaming. I am asking questions that where websites who do not have you on there, having been tested for your fights. Come on, man. Why? And maybe that's why a question also, why is Victor Conte always the one releasing the Vada tests? Maybe, is there a chance? I just want to know. A question. What percentage chance is it that instead of it being an administrative error when they didn't change the date right, that they superimposed typing on top of an old Vada form? Oh, it's a HIPAA violation. Oh, I know it is. But I just wonder, but it's not HIPAA to say he completed it unless he won't let you. I mean, for real, which one is it, Victor? Is Vada just so bad administratively that we shouldn't trust him? Or is it that they haven't tested Terence Crawford in a long time and we shouldn't trust him? Which one is it, Victor? Because it's one or the other. I just have to choose which reasons I don't trust Vada. I either don't trust Vada because they're administratively terrible, or I don't trust them because I believe that their administration is correct and somebody is playing games. Which one is it, Victor? Let me know which one I should think. I mean this, and I'm going to ask this question over and over and over. And I'm going to tell you for sure, this is not a shitbox podcast. Shitbox podcast. That is not defamation, shitbox podcast. It's not defamation. Go hire an attorney before you waste my time again with all of your notes and your attacks and your hypocrisy and all that bullshit that you try to get. I don't even know how you can afford to do that dumb shit because don't nobody listen to you. Fanon, isn't Canelo more likely to cheat again as compared to Bud? Anyone remotely linked to Victor Conte should have eyes on them, in my opinion. Thanks. Let's analyze that. That's a good question. Fanon, isn't Canelo more likely to cheat again as compared to Bud? Well, first of all, so that Bud doesn't try. So somebody claiming to be Bud's lawyer, who I never verified was actually Bud's lawyer and never really showed me any proof that they represented Bud. I was just to take that for granted. You know how con men do. They work on you and try to make you take things for granted. Regardless, I took it for granted that this guy was really his attorney, and I acted as if he was. No worries. You know why? Because it's reasonable for me to believe he was an agent of Terence Crawford's. And I will hold you guys responsible for that. Anyway, so I have to clarify something, though. I am not implying, I don't know for sure if Terence Crawford cheated. So I can't say, isn't it more likely to cheat again? Because I don't know whether or not Terence Crawford cheated on those gloves. You know why? Because it could have been an accident. It could have just been completely accidental that his gloves, 2 pair of his gloves torn. And then Terence also had Everlast put out that his gloves were defective. But I don't know that was not a cover-up. It looked to me like his gloves fell apart and then he hit David Avanesyan. That's what it looked like to me, which I reasonably believed could be considered cheating. But, I got people trying to drop lawsuits on me for saying that I think exploding gloves. Anyway, I won't belabor the point. However, other than to say, don't waste your time with no fucking defamation charges. Anyway, anyone remotely linked to Victor should have eyes on them, in my opinion. Yes. So anyway, Canelo should always be suspected. Absolutely. He should absolutely be suspected. I don't know if he should be any more suspected than Bud or not. That's up to the individual. I don't know whether or not I don't trust either one of them. And guess what? That's not defamation. I don't trust either one of them to be clean fighters because there's too many questions out there. Let me repeat again that that's not defamation. Booger Nose and that ugly nigga. That's not defamation. For me to say I don't trust this guy. I don't trust you. I'm going to the Vada website, and the Vada website says you ain't tested since 2020. That's what it said. That's what I see. Now, that doesn't mean that you haven't tested. It could mean that you just didn't allow the test results to be released since 2020. I don't know. It's confusing to me, though. But I can't really tell you who more or less who. I know this. Canelo Alvarez isn't the one that put on 20 pounds in the last 2 years. Terence Crawford has put on 20 pounds in the last 2 years. So I don't know, bro. I don't know a lot of 37-year-olds that can put 20 pounds of muscle on in 2 years. That's 10 pounds of solid muscle. Do you know what kind of, I mean, your body shouldn't even operate like that at that age. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that from my own personal experience. I've been 37 before, bro. Your body does not behave. You start feeling old at 35, 37 compared to how you felt at 24. You start feeling it. And it doesn't matter how good you've kept yourself in shape. There's a lot of people that kept themselves in shape. Your body starts breaking down over time with repetitive use, just because of repetitive use. And Bud's been training like a pro for well over 20 years. No, it's just Bud. I mean, Canelo's not really done that in the last. And man, where did Canelo go up from? Canelo really went up from like 154 to 168. He's not going up from 140 to 168. That's 2 whole more weight classes. Now, it's funny business. I mean, it's funny business to me. Yeah, Fanon, how did another YouTube know Bud was before what? How did another YouTube know Bud was during you before you said anything that took your name out of the title and just said Bud suing? How did Bud's not suing me? How did another YouTube know Bud was suing you before you said anything? Took your name out of the title of the video and just said Bud suing. Because you know why? Because it's fake. Because the whole thing is fucking fake. Let me tell you why. Because more than likely it's fake. And it was somebody trying to con me into backing up. They try to throw it. This is what I think. Either it's real or real. It doesn't make a difference to me. First of all, a cease and desist letter is not suing, you fucking moron. No, there's no lawsuit, you idiot. Somebody asked you, and guess what? I did it for Leonard Ellerby. I've done it for Leonard Ellerby. I also did it for Errol Spence, and I've also did it for Derrick James. I've done videos that Derrick James called me and said, that's not what I said. So I took the video down and I explained, hey, the reason I took this video down is because Derrick James said what I said is not true. I did the same thing with Leonard Ellerby. Leonard Ellerby said, hey, what you said is not true. And I said, my bad. You telling me it's not true. I took it down. So I've done this several times. Terence Crawford, yeah, exactly. Virgil Wembley said it was fake. I mean, the argument is so bad that, look, these guys said that me saying that I thought Bud versus Canelo could be battle of the cheaters. Dude, it's perfectly okay for me to say I think it's going to be battle of the cheaters. That's not illegal. Yeah, man, my wife was the first one to tell me that this doesn't even look real. You know why? Because I'll tell you, I'm not even going to tell you. Say, hey, I don't even think the guy was a lawyer for 9. I doubt it. Look, I doubt it. Anyway, it goes. Exactly. Computerall versus Snack. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Victor Conte threw a hissy fit. Fuck you, Victor Conte. I'm sorry. Let me stop before my wife gets in here and gets mad. I want to be in a good mood. Victor Conte, I have no fear of you. I have no respect for you. You don't bother me. You can't pump fake me. You can't do it. You're not going to intimidate me. You guys have tried to intimidate me for years. You try to intimidate me with public pressure by getting a bunch of YouTube channels to say a bunch of bad things about me. You guys go out there and get a bunch of people to get on their channel, to get on their YouTube channel and try to troll me. It's never going to work, dog. Okay? It's never going to work. You guys, I'm not some Rudy Poot. First of all, I'm not new to this. Okay? I have been slandered myself multiple times. Okay? And just because I didn't sue somebody for slander doesn't mean that I didn't know that it was slander. Also, I would like to tell you that you guys never did specify whether or not you were going to sue me for slander or libel, which I did find funny that you didn't use the term slander or libel, but that's fine. Like I said, I graduated from law school. I have not practiced in a very long time. So, but I do know this. I know that every particular charge or tort, they have elements to them. And you have to satisfy the basic elements. And one of the elements for defamation against a celebrity is that the person knows the statement not to be true. I have to know that Terence Crawford didn't cheat and then say that. So you guys are really insulting me, and all you really wanted me to do is waste money on an attorney. Fanon, you need to hire a person to have a dump button so you can be on a 5-second delay. You say something bad, hit the button, and we don't hear the bad. Hell no. Nah, dog, you can hear all the bad shit out of me. What's going on the mic with Terrence Bailey? Nah, you're going to hear the bad stuff with me. Because I don't appreciate trying to be intimidated, man. I ain't going to lie, dog. You guys are, I don't know what you think you guys are. Do you think you're smart or something? Like you guys don't know that that's collusion? If it is true, what people suspect about this is collusion and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Why would you guys want to make me feel like I'm going to get sued just because of my opinion? Why would you make somebody feel that way? Why won't you insist on questions being answered? Here for booty. Here for booty. Why won't you insist that we get to the bottom of the answer? How is it specifically that Terence Crawford has been able to put on 20 pounds of muscle in 24 months? Seriously, that is a pound of muscle a month. I want to know how a 37-year-old man is putting on a solid pound of muscle a month for 2 years. Do you know how hard it is to lose a pound of fat? You will bust your ass to lose a pound of fat a month. Terence Crawford apparently has the metabolism and the ability to put on a solid pound of muscle a month for 2 years. That's what he is here for booty. Seriously. It's now look, and I'm just talking about what he weighs in at, okay? You can do it. How? No, DJ Dash. Obviously, you can do it because he did it. Look, obviously, you can do it because he did it. I'm asking how. Get on here and explain to me how he can do it. That he did it. I know he did it. How did he do it? How? I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can do it. He weighed at 147 against Errol Spence 2 years ago. He's going to weigh in at if he weighs in at 168, that's 22, that's 20 pounds. That's 21 pounds. How you can't say he's the same size because that means he got down from somebody that was walking at 183 down to 147. How did he cut? If he always walked around at 180, how was he cutting 40 pounds of weight to get to 135? How? Oh, bone density? Oh, I get it. It's bone density. These are questions I need answers to. See, this is not defamation. This is me needing to have answers to questions. How did he put all this muscle on? And don't tell me he can do it. No, I need specifics. Do you know how kind of you think you have to create muscle? This nigga said more food and lift weights. Yeah. KT Blinky said big boned. Dude said more food and lift weights. And without getting fat, and it ain't gonna get no fat, it's gonna go all muscle. Man, ain't no game. Look, man. Fanani came in at 170 fight night in the last fight. Oh, 170. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's what? 2 years. 2 years. What he come in 160 and he probably came in 160 after Errol, and he probably going to come in 180 come in 180 after he rehydrates with Terence. I mean, come on, man, look. Any Fall Guy said anything on Snack is questionable. By the way, you're going to have to prove to me what I said is false. I'm selling the Brooklyn Bridge. Let me know if you're interested. Hey, no, because if you do, I'm going to sue you. If you do, I'm going to sue you. Hey, who's the guy that knew ahead of time, though? Hey, give me the name of the channel, please, the one that said I got sued. Who knew before I said anything? Please tell me the name of who said that a YouTuber was going to get sued in a video before it happened. Tell me who said it. Tell me who said it. Yeah, he was 179 against Mad Maroff. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Man, hey, the same people speculating about Manny for sure. I'll look it up because I saw it a couple of, yeah. Oh, it was. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So that nigga's got, hey, look, bro. Whoever had my name in that, bro, Blue Blood had a video up talking about I was gonna get sued before I even said anything. Hey, Blue Blood, I didn't get sued. Nobody was gonna sue me. Somebody, it's called, let me tell you something, Blue Blood. It's called a seek, and let me watch it. Let me help you, Blue Blood. A cease and desist letter is not a lawsuit. You fucking. A cease and desist letter is not a lawsuit. Okay? And in fact, it said notice of defamatory statements and demand for retraction. They gave me notice that they thought something was defamatory. I told them that it was not defamatory, but if you said it's not true, I'll take it down. So, Blue, oh, you saw it on Goodfella TV? Oh, so you guys are all part of the crew that thought you could get me sued? Really? Goodfella TV, all these cop-ass YouTubers, bro, you guys thought I got sued? You guys lied on me. That's defamation. Oh my God, they defamed me? Did they defame me? Because I didn't get sued. Your face is the sieve. What is that? Look, man, that is the ugliest nigga I've ever seen in my life. I am not going to say nothing bad about IOBTA boxing because that nigga mama did him so dirty that I ain't, seriously, man, I feel sorry for that dude. He's had a rough life, bro. I ain't worried about him. Said you were going to be sued, but it was subject to change. It's subject. Hell no, I didn't get sued. Get the fuck out of here, you lying ass shitbags. Anyway. He said, hey, he went on live with your name in it, then took it out and went from Bud suing Fanon to Bud suing. Title was longer than that was the part that had your name shaped. Let me tell you something, bro. Blue Blood, ain't nobody suing me, dog. You know why? Because if I say something that's not true, I will always take it down, you liar. Well, how can you sue me if you have to, first of all, you got to tell me what I said was defamatory. I told the guys, hell no, nothing that I said was defamatory. But I will take that stuff down just off GP. I'm not going to go through some stupid legal process over some crap that I don't care about. Dude, what's wrong with you, Blue Blood? What's wrong with you, son? You lied on me, man? Do I got to sue you for defamation? Damn, he said I was getting sued, and that defames me. That's defamation. That's defamation. He says, hey, Fanon, look up Beetlejuice from Scary Movie 2. Who does he look like? He looks like IBTOA. That's who he looks like. Dude, I can't stare that dude in his face, bro. I'm serious, man. I can't even look at that dude. Like, for real, my eyes get diverted, bro. I feels like that dude went through. I know he got, for real, I know he went through some shit, bro. He blocked me a long time ago. I used to be on his head because he never made sense. Look, bro, I ain't worried about Blue Blood lying on me. I'm not worried about none of them niggas who are all bought and sold for lying on me. Dude, I have never been sued by a boxer in my life, bro. And tell me the truth, bro. I have never been sued because I am a fair dealer, Blue Blood. I don't make things up, Blue Blood. And what I said, Blue Blood, was that it was my opinion that Terence Crawford looked like a juice monster. That's what I said. He looks like a juice monster to me. And that's the truth. You don't have proof. It's hearsay. Lawyer up. Stupid. You don't have proof. It's hearsay. Lawyer up. I'm not going to lawyer up, bro. I'm a lawyer. I'm just going to sue you myself. Dog, if I want to sue you, I am going to write my own complaint. And then I am going to submit my own complaint to you if I want to sue you. I will write it down myself. Okay? You guys trying to threaten me with lawyers is ridiculous, bro. Do you know how many? First of all, if I have any question of the law, I've got 30 lawyers that I can call at any time to give me their opinion on whether or not what I have done is law or not law. Okay? Second of all, I graduated from law school. So I know what the basic torts are, and I know how to respond to basic torts. And for defamation, you cannot commit defamation if you're telling the truth. You cannot give defamation if you're giving your opinion, because that is protected. Number one, that is freedom of speech, and it is protected by the freedom of speech unless it is some overriding national interest. Like you can't tell the truth about some issue that is high national security. You can't do that, right? So there are absolutely limits on freedom of speech. Thinking that I had absolute immunity from freedom of speech. Dude, you guys weren't, your attorney wasn't even on the proper point. You guys claimed defamation. You didn't claim that I had violated your freedom of speech or that I had violated some type of national security. So what are you talking about? I didn't scream fire. I didn't scream fire in a movie theater. I didn't scream fire in a movie theater. So what do I need to worry about me having absolute immunity for freedom of speech? Your guy wouldn't even talk to me about the topic. When I started talking about the topic, which was actually defamation and what the elements you guys had to prove in order to prove defamation against me, you guys wanted to end the conversation very, very fast. You guys wanted to end the conversation real fast. Now I find out that you guys were out there claiming I was going to get sued because you sent some shit to my house. How pitiful. How pitiful do you look? Just think right now. How pitiful do you look? They don't understand tort if it ain't attached to a tortilla. Exactly, bro. Dog, I know the torts, man. Sleuth no naturally skilled, undefeated fighter needs a Victor Conte on their team unless they doubt their skills for an unfair advantage. And P. Flame, I think that is a reasonable thing to think, and that is not defamatory. Hey, dumbass Blue Blood, this statement is not defamatory, dumbass. That is not a defamatory statement. That is not a defamatory statement. Oh, I know you guys is in trouble. Oh, I know y'all in trouble. Oh, I know y'all in trouble. I know y'all in trouble. Big time. Big time. Big time. I hope y'all didn't say, let me tell you what I hope. I hope that you guys really did not represent Terence Crawford. Because if you sent that, Terence Crawford got a lawsuit on y'all that is, now I'm going to tell you who, if y'all faked it, and that wasn't really Terence Crawford's lawyer, Terence Crawford got a lawsuit on you for sure. He may not be able to sue me, but he may be able to sue you. You know what I'm saying? For fraud. For fraud. Shit, I can sue you for fraud. If you don't represent Terence Crawford, say they deleting and throwing out phone right now. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link in a second. No joke, bro. If this is not Terence Crawford's attorney, I took videos down based off the fact that you guys said you were Terence Crawford's attorneys. I lost money And I can prove I lost money. And you did it in a way that would try to make me lose public face. I got you for defamation and fraud. Partners, I got you for defamation and fraud. And matter of fact, I got you for wire fraud because this came through the mail. If you send it through the mail, bro, that's mail fraud. Wire fraud, mail fraud. Dude, that's just, and guess what? I don't even have to sue you. That's just mail fraud. And I'm alerting the officials right now because I know I got post office officials around me. If this was not truly a letter sent by Terence Crawford, that is a federal crime. That is a federal crime. I'm going to let you guys, because you guys don't know. You guys really don't know. If it is true, what people suspect, that you guys made this shit up and sent this to me to try to spook me and get me into some bad shit, that's mail fraud, bro. You're going to do time for that shit, bro. You guys can do time for that shit if you sent this. If you sent this, that's mail fraud. And trust me, man, if I find, oh, yeah. I'll leave it alone, though. I'll leave it alone. Hey, I'll leave it alone, though. I'll act like I don't know y'all had something to do with that. I'll act like, oh, I'm sorry, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm telling you, I don't believe this. I'm telling you, this is horse shit. And I told the attorney, the guy that said he was attorney, I told him it was horse shit. Now for me to find out that you guys put out videos before I even said anything? Really? You guys put out videos before? How did you know? Did Bud tell you? Bud, you were in Bud's camp and Bud told you? Oh, I think we got you, dog. Oh, no worries. You guys are already paying the price, ain't you, though? That's why Here for Booty had to put that shit out there. That's why Here for Booty Here for Booty was copping a plea, bro. Yeah, I think that's funny, too. Ain't it funny? I didn't say anything about it. All I did was get an email. I was like, wow, what is this? And all of a sudden, you guys think it's okay to release that I've been sued because you saw me get the paperwork, which means you knew what the paperwork was before. How about that ChatGPT letter? Exactly. Terrible. Ooh, man, that's wire fraud, bro. No joke. That's wire fraud. That's mail fraud. That is mail fraud. Fanon called Bud the juice monster. I said he looked like a juice monster. He does look like it. Look, in my opinion, Terence Crawford looks like somebody who could be on juice. How do you like that? How you like that for not being defamatory? To me, in my opinion, he looks like he could be a juice monster. And I am now wondering, because of videos done by other people that I do not know to be untrue, I am now further suspicious because it says on his Vada website, the Vada website, that his last test, his last successful Vada completion was in 2020, October 22nd of 2020. So now I'm wondering whether or not Terence Crawford was tested at all. And that's a reasonable question that I have. These guys are desperate. A reasonable question that I have. Oh, let me tell you, Barbara D, you don't know how desperate they are. Because I have this theory that if I don't buy a fight, if I don't co-sign a fight, that fight is not going to make any money. I want to tell you a strange coincidence that I have noticed. Every fight that I have supported has done well. Every fight that I have not supported has flopped. Yes, they have. You guys have not, Turkey Al-Sheikh has not put on a successful event in the United States yet. Let me repeat. Turki Al-Sheikh has not had a successful fight in the United States yet. They have not turned a profit yet. I have not heard of Eddie Hearn turning a profit in the United States. I've heard of him minimizing his losses. He's not losing as much money as he used to lose, but they have not made any money in the United States. Meanwhile, the people that I support, the PBC, make money every fight. I know that I am center to your drama. What would I do? Think about this. How important do I have to be for someone unconnected for Terence Crawford to concoct a lawsuit for Terence Crawford just so they could claim it in a YouTube video? Knowing that if they get caught, that is wire fraud, mail fraud, and that they could go to prison for that. Why would somebody do that? Now, I'm not saying they did do that. I'm just saying, why would they do that? You have to be mighty desperate. You have to be mighty desperate. Almost like you guys have a lot of gambling debts that you got to pay off. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever noticed that all these guys that talk crap are gamblers. Yeah, they are. All of these phony baloney dudes got one thing in common. They like to gamble. Yeah, you do. You like to gamble. You like to gamble. Ooh-wee. I told you that people don't like the fact that people have been playing around with boxing events for a while now. Then, once I really get loose and I speak freely without any caveats surrounding my words, you think you get enough room to send me some bullshit piece of paper that you think is going to be able to spook me. And what was that you're tone down the rhetoric? Now watch this. Once your attorney, and I'm hoping this attorney is listening to me. Once you told me that you wanted me to tone down my rhetoric, I knew that you were trying to intimidate me. That's why I told you immediately, I'm not going to tone down anything. I have the right to tell the truth, and I have the right to give my opinion, and I'm going to tell the truth, and I am going to give my opinion. I am not going to stop wasting my time. This is exactly what they don't want me to do. Demetrius Edwards, I'm going to throw you out of here. No. See, you guys like to do a lot of misdirection. Sometimes some of you guys will come and you try to be all aggressive. Other people try to come up and try to be all nice and, hey, man, why don't you just change subjects, Martin? Just change. No, I'm not going to change subjects because people just told me that there were YouTube videos that were out before I told anybody what happened that lied and said I was sued. Why would you lie and say that I was sued, Blue Blood? Why would you lie and say I was sued, Blue Blood? Who told you that, Blue Blood? Who told you that? You know, oh, by the way, Goodfellas. I'm not like you, Goodfella. I'm not like you, Goodfella. See, Goodfella, I remember what happened to you, Goodfella. I remember what happened to you, Goodfella. See, let me tell you what happened to Goodfella Sports TV. This is what I heard. This is just rumor. Could be true. Maybe it's not true. Don't know. But look, I don't know it not to be true. Back in the day, Goodfella used to be all free. He used to say what he thought. He was he was going to be a journalist and he was sharing what he thought. One day he did a video about Terence Crawford cheating on his wife. Yeah, he did. He did a video about Terence Crawford cheating on his wife. And then the word I heard was that Bud served him and Bud said, take that shit down. And after that, Goodfella TV has done nothing but what Bud has told him to do since that time that happened. He immediately turned into somebody that was anti-Gervonta. You know why? Probably because he probably didn't know that if you made it up and it's true, if you heard that, that's not defamation. He said that's defamation because Bud said he ain't got a wife. Notice how it is all coinciding with Conte running nonstop interference for Bud Vada snack right now. No such things as coincidence. Oh no, I don't believe in it. Conte been copping pleas for a week straight. No coincidences. Blue Blood been a clown, same as Dante's Boxing Nation. Look, they have definitely been. My personal opinion is they've been contracted to attack me. Look, man, I'm not delusional. You guys can. Some of the things that I say sounds delusional. That's just because I'm a live ass dude. Trust me, ain't nothing that I've said delusional. That's why these dudes got to resort to this type of crap with me, because they don't have any. What do you call it? Hey, what do you call it? You know, the fixers, you know, all the guys that are fixers and say they can fix problems. Have you ever put a one in the chat if you ever heard of the word fixer? A fixer. Somebody that you can call up and pay money, and they're going to solve a problem for you. Yes, it'll be out next week. It'll be out next week. Hey, Fanon, that Ali documentary coming out this year? Yes. I've been told that it is going to be out in the next week, 2 weeks tops. So, back to Blue Blood. How'd you know I was going to get sued, Blue Blood? How'd you know that, Blue Blood? Anyway, you know the fixers. There are these guys in boxing that are called fixers. They think that you can hire them and they make your problems go away. Watch this. You guys couldn't make me go away. You guys got paid. Here's my theory. You guys got paid good money to try to make me go away, and you couldn't do it. So you keep having to try and try and try and try and try and try. You guys thought you guys could do this last ditch effort, because nobody cares about this Terence Crawford-Canelo Alvarez fight. You guys promised you can make a mega fight without the PBC. And you guys were going to cut the PBC out, and you guys were going to shut them down because you guys are fixers. And they're going to learn the lesson of not dealing with you because you guys are so important. Oh, Fred, you're so important. Blue Blood, Dante's Boxing Nation, 78. You guys are so important. You guys are just so important that you guys can solve any problem. Bro, you cannot solve me. Okay? There ain't no stopping me. There ain't none of that, dog. You know, worst you can do is get my wife to ask me to calm down. And sometimes, I know, that's the worst you can get done, is getting my wife to tell me to calm down. After that, you guys are completely done. Just like they were trying to make Tank disappear. Exactly, bro. These dudes think that they can fix something. You hired some guy on my channel. Hey, Lewis Shipman, what's going on? Said just like they're trying to make Tank disappear. Exactly. And I told you, Tank got more money than you can shake a stick at. Guess who else got more money than you can shake a stick at? Shakur. Because if Shakur actually listened to me, Shakur is a very wealthy man if Shakur listened to me. I told Shakur Stevenson to go to the bank and buy gold. After I told him that, the price of gold doubled. If that man listened to me when I told these guys to go and if they got money, go to the bank and get gold coins. Buy gold coins. Buy the gold coins. If he listened to me and bought those gold coins, dog, that dude don't even have to fight no more. They're saying your name more than Bud on their platforms, doing a whole show on another another YouTuber is feminine. Yeah, Perrin, let's just talk about boxing. What? Your Paran. Jerry Rose, goodbye, bro. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fuck up out of here, nigga. I ain't trying to hear none of that Jerry Rose, none of that shit. I'm not trying to hear your prosecution stuff. I'm not worried about you. Okay? There's no flagging, there's no false flagging you can do that's gonna bug me. Okay? Bill Haney is the biggest false flagger. These dudes are false flaggers, bro. False flaggers. They do not have the clout that they say they have. All they got is a bunch of tricks. They're going to try to get your YouTube channel shut down by filing a bunch of claims on you, saying, oh, this is reused content. He's stealing my content. Put a bunch of claims on you because they got they got somebody inside on YouTube that's going to screw me over, bro. You know what I mean? So you try to get my channel shut down, or you try to put some pressure on me through somebody outside of YouTube. The same corny shit you guys have been trying to do for years. You know that I got personal issues related to mental health, so you try to exacerbate them by throwing a bunch of stuff at me on the internet, talking bad about me, thinking eventually somehow this is going to work out for you. You guys are going to fail in your attempt to shut me down. Thank you very much. I've already crossed the finish line, bro. I can do this. I don't have to do this for money. I'm only doing it for the love of the sport now. I don't have to sweat all the time about the cash because, thank God, other things have worked out in my life that allow me to be able to do this and be able to have fun doing this. He a bitch for that. Man, let me tell you something. Blue blood is the biggest fucking liar that you will ever experience in your life. That is my opinion. That dude is the most dishonest person that I've ever met in my life, bro. From the first time that I laid eyes on this dude, he was a snake. No joke. He's been a snake the entire time I've known him. That's why I used to get into like, man, no, seriously, he's the biggest snake I've ever met in my life, bro. You just look at the dude, bro. The dude just looks like a lie. Just lets lies pour out like it's nobody's business, bro. God doesn't like ugly, you content creators. We unsubscribed from DBN 6 months ago. The verbiage there is to Calvin of Django. Let me tell you something, man. I used to have respect for Dante's Boxing Nation. Said easy no more. So that dude can lie about literally anything. They all do. He said Blue lies all the time and doesn't feel bad about it all. No, he doesn't, because he's an actor. Look, actors are not going to feel guilty about acting. Actors don't feel guilty about acting. If you're just playing a role, Blue Blood used to ride Arrow's bandwagon, but now that Bud won. No, bro. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to talk about this dude no more. So I'm going to specifically cut off of this conversation about Blue Blood for a second. Let me put a link in the chat, though. That's so what he did it beforehand, huh? YouTube channels knew that somebody sent me a note before I had told anybody that I received the note. Then the clown had to take it back because we reached an agreement. That's what it was. Because I trapped them dudes. Now the same lawyer has to call me again. Has to call me. You can't even send me another note, Blue Blood. You have to call me. If you send me another note, I am going to call, and you know what's up. Ever since that supposed meeting at the gas station. Nah, he was pro-Bud before that. He was trying to tank Errol a long time ago, bro. Let me tell you, the Spit Bucket Podcast had it out for Errol, had it out for... the Spit Bucket Podcast had it out for Gervonta. Blue Blood Sports TV had it out for Gervonta, had it out for Errol. They had it out for these dudes ever since Fred was no longer allowed to cover fights and ask questions to PBC fighters. Fred used to go around and have a microphone all over PBC events. When Fred got his microphone taken from him, that's when everything anti-PBC started with Blue Blood, because Blue Blood and Fred are like butt buddies or something.
What's up, man?
What's good, brother? What's on your mind, bro?
I want to remind everybody about something and tell them a little story. I wonder if they got time for that.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I got time.
Okay. So years ago, y'all remember the Floyd and Pacquiao? There was a whole suspicion of Pacquiao, right? And they suspect him of using a multitude of things, from PEDs for increasing stamina to strength. Because here's a guy who started off, I think, what was it, 106 pounds, 112, moved up to 147, and then was still knocking out people. There was a 154 and throwing 100 punches around as he got older. So people suspected Pacquiao using PEDs. And the interesting thing about that, like, just to put it in perspective, that would be like if Gervonta Davis moved up to 168 and then fought Dimitri Bivol at 175 and knocked him out. Like that, that's basically what Pacquiao did, right? Moving up 40 pounds and then knocking out a guy in the weight class above him. That's basically what it was, just to put that in perspective. But at that time, around 2009 and 2012, a lot of people were suspecting top ranked fighters of juicing. A lot of people felt like, man, why are all these guys on top rank so against being tested? And that was when they had that whole discussion about Olympic style drug testing. Everybody remembers that. They were talking about doing it randomized. And I remember when Margaret Goodman was trying to get Vada started, she let them know how the Nevada State Athletic Commission conducted tests. And like, you get a call and then you have like 72 hours before you got to show up. It ain't like they just get the drop on you and say, okay, we at your gym now. We know you're training. Go ahead. You doing this test. Said you had like 72 hours before you had to show up after they contacted you. And so they also had that issue with Pacquiao not wanting to do random testing, asking, hey, can you let us know when they're going to stop testing? Can we have a cutoff date for the testing? It's like, why do you need a cutoff if you're not hiding nothing? How come we don't want to get tested randomly all the way up through the fights? Like, oh, Pacquiao's afraid of needles, even though he got tattoos all over his body, and losing blood makes him weak, even though he done been cut in fights and was bleeding heavily and still managed to win the fight. But you take his blood out of him and make him weak. Those are the excuses they were giving. So at that time, Margaret Goodman and a few others decided to go ahead and work with Victor Conte to go ahead and get Vada started. And the crazy thing about it is all these top-ranked fighters who had all these excuses about why they wanted to do drug testing, about why they didn't like it, all of a sudden was okay with being drug tested by Vada. And people thought it was very suspicious that at that time, it was top-ranked fighters who were signing up to be tested by Vada. Not Golden Boy, not Matchroom or any of them. Like, it was top-ranked fighters. So now that same thing is happening now, Victor Conte is back in the spotlight again. Vada is in the spotlight again. And we're having people who are suspected of possibly cheating, okay, with being drug tested by Vada. So it's crazy how history repeats itself, but like, people want to act like what I just told you all about from 2009 to like 2012 and even beyond that didn't happen. Like, people want to act like all this stuff about Victor Conte is fiction. So that's the part that's crazy to me. Like, how do people forget all of that happened with Mayweather, Pacquiao, top rank? Like, how do people not remember this shit? Like, that was like the biggest fight in boxing in who knows how many years. And we know how much trouble they went through talking about random drug testing and Olympic style, whether it's going to be through USADA or Vada or whatever. Like, how are people, like, my only thing is, like, maybe these people just started watching boxing last year. Maybe that's it. Maybe they wasn't around to see this shit because that shit was everywhere. So I want to know, like, what do you think about that? I didn't know if I don't know if any of that stuff came to mind for you, like with seeing all this pop up, or if you're just like, it's Victor Conte, because wherever he is, I mean, there's bound to be some type of controversy.
I'm sorry, I was kind of listening to something else. And Manager Marty, what's up? What's going on, Manager Marty? How you feeling, bro?
Yo, salute for none. What's up, man?
Good, bro. Before you go, can you repeat that question real quick, Phoenix? Because I was typing a tweet about how the hell. Because I was just want to let you know I was writing a tweet about how the hell YouTube channels know 2 days before I tell anybody that somebody sent a note to my house. How did you know 2 days before I told anybody, Blue Blood? I'm going to be very, very interested because you know why? Because number one, if Terence Crawford, if this is really Terence Crawford's attorney, and he released this to the press before he talked to me, I'm a sue Bud. And if this attorney was not really Bud's, if the attorney was not really Bud's, then Bud can sue you. But more importantly, if that was not Bud's attorney and you guys made some shit up to intimidate me, that's mail fraud. That is a federal crime. Are you guys so, and I know you're some fucking criminals. Are you guys so stupid? I hope you're not so stupid as to have called somebody not truly representative of Terence Crawford. You know why? Because the guy that I talked to bound Terence Crawford. He bound Terence Crawford to contacting me anytime Terence Crawford thinks anything could possibly be defamatory. If that guy was not actually a lawyer for Terence Crawford, you bound Terence Crawford to a contract with me claiming you are an agent of his. That is a lawsuit between Terence Crawford and you. I'm telling you, I'm sending my lawyer to go interview this guy. This guy, I'm telling you, the next piece of stupid shit come across my desk, I am going to call this $1,000 an hour attorney I got, and she's going to be the one talking to you. I'm telling you, don't keep thinking I'm not an attorney. I am a lawyer. You do not create defamation is only for a celebrity. You have to prove that I know what I said is not true. That I know that it's not true. I am absolutely amazed that any attorney would think that I know that Terence Crawford did not cheat with his gloves. How can you prove that I know that not to be true? You can never do it. So as soon as I started talking to your attorney, he backed down and ran away. I have to now wonder whether or not it's because he wasn't a lawyer. I just thought he went away because he was like, okay, he recognized I was a lawyer and knew he was in over his head on this particular thing. But if it's you guys out there faking, bro, what are you doing? That shit is illegal, man. I am not fake. I am not make-believing that I'm a lawyer, bro. I'm not making that shit up. All these years I've been on YouTube, as many times and many things that I've said, you have never had an attorney get on here and make 2 cents worth of fucking stretch on me, ever. But yet your dumbasses think that I'm not going to recognize what you on? Now, I'm telling you, people in law enforcement watch me. People in law enforcement watch me. Blue blood, I hope you guys aren't doing that shit. And if you did it to other people, fucking shame on you. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. What's on your mind, Manager Marty?
Hey, man, salute to you for nine. Salute to the chat. I'm excited this morning. Salute to, I don't know who that is on the panel. Salute to you as well, brother.
That's the king of hating.
The king of hate. Oh, okay. Um, let me go back for a second, for nine. I want to first give you your flowers while you are here to smell them. I told you this publicly before, but I want to say it again. You have shouted me out on numerous of occasions with regards to information that you have learned from my content, not just about this subject matter, but about other subject matters, including this one. So I want to be able to give you a salute. This is
Yes,
an
sir.
open, this is an open secret on YouTube. The open secret is when it comes to Manager Marty, is that a lot of boxing fans who jump on other people's panels, a lot of content creators and others in the boxing community, they have reported and repeated information that they have learned only from me. I've been talking about Victor Conte, Vada, and the snack program and the snack fighters for nearly 2.5 years since I've been on YouTube. And I can't find too many people that can admit and be honest and say, I learned A, B, and C from Manager Marty. So what I have done for nine is I have decided, and most of my audience that we share know this, I have decided to do what I like to call a boxing world tour. And basically, simply what that means is from now on, for the entire month of August, and I started this last week, instead of me waiting for certain people to jump on my platform to have a conversation with me, I'm going live and direct on everybody's platform that will allow me to. In other words, is when I scroll on YouTube and I see a content creator that's live, whether they agree with me or not, whether they like me or not, is not the point. But the point is that I'm going to make it my business to click onto their live and ask them to drop a link. And I have been doing this for a whole week so far. It's not about an issue or beef that I have with people. What I'm doing is I'm going to the people because my name needs to be respected. My name. I've done 15 plus years of investigative research on the topic that we're all talking about today. And I have to say this because this is as equally as important for now. Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence. And I am the only content creator. I'm the only one that got on YouTube 3 days after the fight. And I said that Errol Spence looked different, but Terence Crawford looked different. I told BFTB, whether he likes me or not, if he's honest enough, he will tell everybody what I told him. He was sitting 3 seats away from me. No, I don't know him personally, but the bottom line is he was sitting 3 seats away from me at the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight. I looked at BFTB and I looked him dead in his eye and I told him that Terence Crawford's performance was enhanced. And anybody that want to fact check me can go ask him. In fact, after the fight, I actually shared that. And ever since then, I've been telling people over and over again that Terence Crawford's performance in his previous 3 fights in total, Sean Porter performance, David Evanesian performance, and Errol Spence performance, his performance was enhanced. Now, I'll leave it up to the experts to determine whether it's illegal or legal. But the point is, I've been on this Vada testing, Victor Conte, and the snack program for 2.5 years on YouTube and a total of almost 16 years off of YouTube. And all I'm saying, and this is not directly to you for now because I just gave you your flowers, but I know a lot of people are listening to you right now. All I'm saying is, number one, when people talk about the topic of Vada, Victor Conte, and Snack, and the fighters of Snack, all I'm saying is put a name tag on it. Put a name tag on it. Because
Let me
as
do
we
something
know,
for you, manager.
as,
Let me do something for you, Manager Marty. Let me do something for you. Manager Marty is telling the dead honest fucking truth. And it's annoying as fuck when people do that shit. I don't know much of anything about Vada other than the questions that were raised by Manager Marty, and Boxing Ego raised some questions around some other documents. When somebody gives you information, you owe it to that person and to the people that you're talking to tell them where it comes from. I am a lawyer. I am sick to fuck of Blue Blood Sports TV acting like he's a lawyer. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I was very insulted by the contract that was written by a friend of mine for Gary Russell Jr. because it's very evident that they were not an attorney or they were trying to screw him. When I give those breakdowns, it's because of an education that I have had over 30 years. I have a degree of law from Howard University. I have a degree in negotiations from Harvard University. And I have worked in these fields for 30 years as my entire profession. So have you fucking country bumpkins coming up talking to me about this shit is irritating. I've experienced this with Manager Marty as well. You guys are behaving as if you know the things that Manager Marty knows. And if you quote him, if you don't tell him where it comes from, then they don't know where to get the real information from. So when I say this is what I learned from Manager Marty, it's so that you know to go get it from the source. Not that I am going to be the source for Manager Marty. That is not quite plagiarism, but you're doing a disservice to your audience when you fake it. Stop fucking faking it. Manager Marty is an expert in managing boxers. I heard all the stupid shit they would say. When's the last time you managed somebody? It doesn't fucking matter. He could have managed 15 people 15 years ago. He still knows how to do it. And you guys have never done it and don't got a fucking clue how to do it. So anyway, I want to co-sign that on Manager Marty and say, please subscribe to Manager Marty because you get very well thought out very, very, very granular analysis. And absolutely, people have been stealing the content of Manager Marty or extrapolating on the content of Manager Marty's. Even if you extrapolate and extrapolate on it, still credit the man with his thoughts, because he's the one, and I'm telling you honestly, is the one that really did go at Victor Conte in a way where it was like, I don't understand what he's saying. It was detailed and granular enough where I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen to this, because you got to be able to learn who you can learn things from. I hope that helped, Manager Marty, because that's how I felt, and that's what I've seen about you.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you just expounding on it more. I'm not upset with anybody. It's just that it's very disheartening when I have to get clips and videos sent to me by subscribers and friends and family members of mine, and then I have to hear a content creator or a boxing fan on a panel repeat information that I know that they got from me, and then use my slogans and quotes, but don't even give credit. Now, with all that out the way, enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day cards. For nine, you spoke on something that I've been saying for a long time. This document that Victor Conte put out with Vada, and I did a video on this the other day, but I have to expound on this. This is very important for nine. This document
Take your time.
thank you. This document that Victor Conte put out, where it had the obviously the dates. There is a question about June 2024 when the letter was sent out allegedly to Terence Crawford because he tested in June of 2025 for the for the Canelo fight. The question that I would have is, okay, we see that the dates are inconsistent, so that's flag number one. But flag number two, if Victor Conte had all of this access to gain the documents from Vada and Terence Crawford to prove that Terence Crawford tested negative through Vada testing for Canelo fight, my question still remains: where was the document from Vada when Terence Crawford fought Sean Porter? When Terence Crawford fought David Evanesian, when Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, and when Terence Crawford fought Madrimov. Why am I asking about those four fights? Because in the last 4 years, from 2020 to 2024, we could not find any proof or documentation that Terence Crawford was tested with Vada. I pointed this out for 2 years. I pointed out last year. The reason why I'm bringing those four fights up for nine is because those were the four fights that Terence Crawford fought under the snack program in Victor Conte. And Victor Conte was on my platform. And when I pressed him for the Sean Porter results, he told me he didn't even know if Sean Porter was tested and Terence Crawford was tested when they fought. And they both are his snack fighters.
Hold on. He said that he didn't know if they were tested?
Absolutely. I put the video out last week for now, and I'm gonna send it to you. Some of your audience members probably saw that video. And if Sean Porter's listening, he better know that he need to go back and listen to that video, because I got to do a video on him in the next few days, because I've been on his platform recently. But the point that I'm making is everybody's ears were open. Everybody's eyes are open, and now I see everybody's mouth is open when it comes to Victor Conte, Terence Crawford, and Snack. Now, do you know what's interesting for nine? I've been talking about this longer than you have, and nobody sent me a cease and desist letter. No one sent me a lawsuit or anything. I'm still waiting for it. I can't wait when they send it for nine. I wish they would send it. Hey, Bud, send me the paperwork. Send it to me. Send it to me. Because listen, for nine, I
Hey,
cracked
I have
this
a
case.
suspicion that wasn't Bud. Be
Hey
honest
man,
with you. I have a suspicion it wasn't Bud. I have a
man.
suspicion it wasn't Bud. I don't know, but I have a suspicion it wasn't Bud. Go
And you
ahead,
know
though.
what? It might not have been him, but I cracked this case wide open. And the thing about it is this: anytime you got a guy in Victor Conte who get caught in so many lies, time and time again, you got to deal with the reality. And here's the thing, Fanan. This is the thing that is so crazy to me. Victor Conte, Terence Crawford, Tim Bradley, Mike Williams Sr., Bill Haney, uh, Brian Norman Sr., Floyd Schofield Sr. You know what they all have in common? They won't never click the link to come talk to me. And the reason why they won't click my link to come talk to me is because they know I'm not just no YouTuber. I'm in the business of boxing. Like you said, Fanan, you said it very well. Managing fighters. People always ask me, who do I manage? I managed to get all these millionaires to talk about me behind the scenes. But when they come see me face to face, they don't talk to me. They won't even click the link to talk to me. Now, Victor Conte, he did come up. Now, I don't know if you still cool with Rachel or not, Fanon, but at the end of the day, Rachel,
Always.
if, huh?
I'm always. That's my girl. I'm always good with her and Nonito.
Yeah, no, so I'm not, yeah, so I'm just saying all that to say this is not a shot directed towards her. But
Okay.
she influenced Victor Conte, those were his words, not mine, to come up on my platform. So I do give him credit for coming up twice. But the point I'm making is he was not honest. I knew why he was coming up, and everything that we've learned thus far is coming out to the wash. For example,
Well,
and
let
I have
me.
to leave you with this for now, I promise
Yeah,
you.
good. Yes, sir.
24/7, 365 Vada testing is a hoax. It's fake news. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Dr. Margaret Goodman, the founder and CEO of Vada, she told me when she was on my platform, March of 2024, a few months after Victor left, she said that Vada doesn't do out of competition testing. Now, to prove that, go on their website. You will see two facts. Number one, they tell you clearly as day that professional athletes are subject to be tested through unannounced testing 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. And number two, because everybody keep telling me that Devin Haney is now 24/7, 365 VADA tested. Number two, you ain't gonna find an application on VADA's website for a fighter to enroll in 24/7, 365 testing. You're not going to find one. Even the admissions application, you're not even going to find a checkbox for it. So the question becomes, how did Devin Haney enroll in something that doesn't have an application to enroll? There's an application to complete for the enrollment process. There's an application to complete for their whereabouts form and policy. And then there's an application to complete for a therapeutic use exemption. But you won't find not one application for a professional fighter to enroll in 24/7, 365 testing because there is none when it comes to VADA. And that is the difference between USADA and VADA. USADA does out of competition testing and in competition testing. And I had to leave you with this fact because I know somebody's going to be in the comment section and
Don't
live
don't
chat
leave
and
yet,
tell me.
Manager Marty. Don't leave
All
yet.
right, I won't leave, but I won't leave 2 cents. But here's the thing. Anytime you can go pull up Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders, Louis Ortiz, any name you pull up that tested Big Baby Jared Miller, any fighter that tested positive for a banned substance through VADA testing, they all had a scheduled bout. Even Canelo, when he tested positive for clenbuterol, he tested positive in March. He was going to fight Triple G in May. So once again, these are fights that's happening that were scheduled within the 8 weeks. So I just wanted to point that out there because there has been a big controversy of, VADA doing 24/7, 365 testing. It's a hoax. It's fake news. I digress.
That goes with what I was saying earlier, Ron,
Let me.
about that.
Hey, real
Oh,
quick, in case, let 2 cent was gonna ask manager
okay,
Marty.
okay.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Manager Marty? Listen, I know
Let
some
me
folks in these YouTube streets is foaming at the mouth right now because we all on this panel together. But Manager Marty, I wanted to ask you: did you see Victor Conte's most recent tweets?
The last one I saw was when he posted up the VADA document for Terence Crawford, and then he tweeted out his reasoning for all of this. He was basically trying to explain himself about VADA and all the stuff that that
Right,
he's
right, right,
trying
right.
to do in boxing, and he's not affiliated with him and all that. That is that what you're talking about?
No, he has up a recent tweet where he says, paraphrasing something along the lines of Terence Crawford has been tested his last 3 or 4 fights.
He's been tested for what?
His last 3 or 4 fights.
Oh, so he's responded to my video. Okay, well, all I asked Victor Conte to do is show the paperwork. And guess what? This is how you prove it for Nine and Phoenix and 2 Cents. Why don't VADA have Victor Conte on their website like they do all the other fighters for the last 4 years? Even today, that Victor Conte have this document from VADA that says June something of 2025. They don't even have Terence Crawford on the website for this testing. So when is
He,
VADA
he,
going to put him on the website?
he said the promotional companies wanted to be kept private.
Well, Terence Crawford is not with a promotional company,
Exactly.
is he? No, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Now look, when Victor, look, when Victor was in front of me, he said that the only people that don't get publicized on Vada's website is PBC fighters. That's what he told me, and I
Yep.
Hey,
told
hold on
him,
1 second. Hold 1 second. Hey, Blue Blood, you've been copping a plea for a minute trying to get cool with me. Bring your raggedy ass over on the channel with BFTB and manager Marty and stop being a sucker. Do you know you can't fuck with me? You might as well go talk to manager Marty, bro. You tried to get rid of the nigga before he got up and you failed. And now he's all up in your ass. I just want to let you know that, Mr. fucking hold up man, stop. I saw what KO Boxing. I'm up for real. I'm gonna start some shit. I heard what I saw KO Boxing short. He said blue blood. He said blue blood here for bitching, and all you niggas got all that shit. You got all that stuff to say, but you won't debate this man. Debate him. Stop making up shit on. You know you're not debating me, bro. You know you're not debating me. So why don't you just have your go at it with manager Marty? Why don't you have it with KO Boxing? I'm never gonna have you on my channel. So go over there to BFTB, somewhere nice and safe, and be a man, Blue Blood. Be a fucking man, bro. You know you a liar. You know you full of shit. I fried you with manager Marty years ago, bro, when you tried to suppress this man and try to keep him from having anybody know who he was. That's what you niggas that's what you try to do to people. You try to do it to KO too. Why don't you be a man, bro? Debate beat Dean. Why don't you do that? Be a man, Blue Blood. You know shit ain't subject to change. You just a liar, bro. And you a chicken shit. Anyway, go ahead, man.
no, I was just saying, I was just saying, I felt like
Hold on. Stop. I fried that nigga inside of 30 seconds. What the fuck you talking about? Fanon versus Blue Blood would be epic. I fried that nigga in less than 30 seconds. Fuck you talking about? The first time I ever debated Blue Blood, it took me less than 3 minutes for him to admit that I was right. I can go through the whole debate and how I fried his ass. I didn't even know I was debating him. He started trying to debate me. And then he switched. This is how big a liar he is. This is how I fried fucking Blue Blood long time ago. Because Blue Blood was saying that Arrow was ducking Terence. This was way before everybody thought that Arrow was on. That this was before Arrow, before Blue Blood was supporting Arrow. Before it. See, you guys think that Blue Blood was with Arrow, then went to Terence. No. He was with Terence. I fried him in a debate so fucking bad that he had to switch to Arrow. And then he waited to switch back to Arrow. And you know I did it. I did it on my channel. And you know how I got him? Because he said that Arrow was ducking Terence because Terence was, this is how stupid this nigga is. He said Arrow was ducking Terence because Arrow wasn't calling out Terence. Arrow was calling out Sean Porter. He was calling out Keith Thurman, but he wasn't calling out Terence. So that meant that Arrow was ducking Terence. If you remember, this was after the Sean Porter fight, and Blue Blood was the one asking Arrow about fighting Terence instead of talking about Arrow and fighting Sean Porter. Okay? So don't tell me nothing about Blue Blood coming here. I fried his ass the first time he tried it. And what did he do? And how did I fry him? And this is what he did. This is how full of shit he is. I said, Blue Blood, how can Arrow be ducking Terence because Arrow hasn't called out Terence when Terence has never called out Arrow? Terence had never called out Arrow. And he said, well, Arrow doesn't call anybody out. I said, oh, so you got a different standard for Arrow than Bud? I mean, Arrow's got to call people out, but Bud doesn't. Doesn't that seem unfair? And he said, this is what the dude did. He said, no, because that's unfair, Martin. I can't hold this standard for Arrow and hold this standard for Terence. That's unfair. The nigga literally tried to just take my point and start talking. So I said, stop. I stopped him right there. And I said, thank you for agreeing with me, Blue Blood. It took me less than 3 minutes to box this nigga up. He's a liar, bro. All he is a bunch of debate tactics. He'll tell you, he'll start talking over you. He'll ask you stupid questions like, well, Terence did it, but Arrow didn't do it. Well, oh, if this is cheating, well, what about all the other snack? All of the different cheap debating techniques that you guys try to use, they are fucking worthless with. Hey, Joey, much love, bro. And I apologize, Joey. I went at you too hard. My bad, Joey. No, I fried that nigga years ago. So don't try to tell me that anybody debating me is going to be epic, because it's not. You know why? Because I would never debate Manager Marty. I'm going to learn from Manager Marty. I'm not going to debate 2 Cent. I'm going to learn from 2 Cent. I'm not going to debate KO. I'm going to learn from KO. You all don't want to learn. You want to be bots. You want the buzzwords. You want to take something that somebody else creates, shorten it up. That's like Upper Echelon used to do that shit to me every time he got on my channel, trying to get up and explain to other people what I just said. You niggas are the biggest fucking biters and cons, because all you are there to do is be a fucking Uncle Tom ass mimic for what the media wants you to say. But don't you niggas ever talk about somebody debating me. My debates are over. I've already fried you niggas, and you ain't getting no 50th chances. Go deal with niggas that want to debate you. Debate Manager Marty, you coward, Blue Blood. Somebody take this and put this on a short. Blue Blood, you're a coward for not debating this man. All the lie you told on that man, saying that man flagged your channel. When you know goddamn well nobody knows who flags a channel, you just lied on the man. So the least you could do, Blue Blood, since you lied on the man, is be man enough to debate the man like you said you would. But we know you won't, because all you have is tricks. That's all you have. You guys have tricks. You have you can ask a question that's going to confuse somebody. You guys aren't looking for the truth. You're looking to sell the same bullshit these people have been selling on fighters for a long time, and you're a fucking Uncle Tom monkey, in my personal opinion. And that ain't defamation for me to say you're an Uncle Tom monkey. And by the way, nigga, you ugly as fuck. Anyway, fuck y'all. No, you're not debating me. Be a man and debate Manager Marty. Be a man and debate KO Boxing. Be a man and debate 50 Cent. And 2 Cent. You guys know damn well you ain't sending no notes to them because you don't think that they have enough subscribers to be of importance. Well, guess what? I'm fitting to feature these dudes on my channel. Everybody that subscribed to me is going to know who Manager Marty is. Everybody that subscribed to me is going to know who 2 Cent is and who Deem are. Because I'm not some phony ass dudes like y'all. Fakes. And I don't have fake subscribers. I don't have fake views. I got real supporters with real numbers. So the numbers really matter. You all got a bunch of people that are just in there because you bought the views and they come by your channel every day, but they're not supporting anybody. They're just another person getting paid to listen to the lies you tell them. And you know that's the truth. And I better not find out that you sent this bullshit to my house trying to intimidate me. Because I am far from somebody you should try to intimidate. Believe you me, the worst type of nigga to try to intimidate. Man, I'm sorry, man. Dean, what's on your mind? I'll let y'all pass the ball for a second.
What's the deal, Fanon? How you doing?
I'm good. Let me check. Jay, is this Jay Henderson? Jason Henderson, is that Jay Henderson?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. You good. All right, man. I'm gonna let y'all cook for a minute. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good.
You good,
What's
Manager
up,
Marty?
family? How y'all doing?
Good.
Y'all
What's
right?
up, Dean? What's good, Dean?
I'm out. Y'all can
good
cook
people.
for a little while. Let y'all cook for a while, okay?
All right. I just want to say this, man.
What's up, Cabal? What's up? What's up?
Why ain't Terence Crawford posted on that Vada website? That's what I want to know. I done seen other fighters get posted from around those same dates. Why Terence Crawford ain't on that website? Can somebody tell me? And all you boxing content creators, all I gotta say is I've been on this for a while, Fanon, so I'm glad that you called them out. They don't, you know what they do when you go past their channel? They block me out the chat. That's what they done did to Dean. So they better not never mention my name. Y'all already know. It's free smoke. It's free smoke. Shout out to my guy KO. Shout out to Manager Marty. Go like and subscribe to 2 Cents Boxing. You know, where you get real content. And like you said, we ain't gotta buy views and subscribers and all this. This is all from the muscle, y'all. So I just want to thank Fanon for that shout out, for always keeping it 100. Because I already know. And y'all be sitting up there, it's so crazy. Y'all be talking about Fanon, but they sent that letter though, didn't they? Hit dogs, holler. That's all I'm going to say. Hit dogs, holler. That's what mama used to tell me. That's all I'm going to say. I just wanted to say that y'all chop it up with the fam. I seen y'all up here cooking. What up, Kamal, Jay, Manager Marty, and the King of Hating? Y'all know what it is, man. Oh, I'm done. I just wanted to say that. I'm done. Y'all can cook now. I'm done.
What's going on, panel? This is my first time actually speaking with everybody like directly. Shout out to Manager Marty, man. I've subscribed. Shout out to Phoenix the Hater. Shout out to Kamal. Shout out to Dean. Man, no, I actually work on websites. I actually design websites for Medicaid with the federal government. One thing that I noticed when we went through the Vada website was their lack of standard information as far as information that can be verifiable information that lacks a lot of pushback, especially when I went in under developer mode. I did a lot.
Jay. Can y'all hear Jay? What's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me? Everything good?
Hello? Is anybody speaking?
Yeah, is anybody here? Can you hear me, Kamal?
Yo, Deem, I
Kamal, can
hear
you hear
you.
me?
Yeah, I hear Jay. I heard Jay for a little while, then he just dropped off. Talk.
Go ahead, Kamal, because I think something happened with his mic, though. Go ahead, Kamal.
Yo, what's up? So I just think this whole thing is unfortunate. The great Deontay Wilder once said that what's understood doesn't need to be explained. So just like this whole concoction, which is what this circus freak show fight is between Z-Side Bud and Clennell Ho Alvaroid. It's a concoction of fiction by Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's a fight that makes no sense. It is a fight that is at the expense of those who put in the work in the 168-pound division. It is an example of boxing corruption 101 when you can have a sanctioning body place Z-Side Bud, who's never fought within two weight classes, or he's basically fought once within two weight classes of 168, ranked number one in the sanctioning body above guys like Diego Pacheco, Iglesias, Celis Iglesias, the Cuban knockout artist, Christian Mbili, and others. And you tell me it's the biggest fight in boxing history, in the biggest fight in this century. You tell me that it's going to be bigger than Conor McGregor versus Floyd, Manny Floyd, all these other fights, and yet you don't put it on pay-per-view? Again, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. We will know who you are by the fruits of your tree, the fruits of your spirit. So if it's this big fight that you're telling me it is, why is it not on pay-per-view? Why is it on free Netflix? Why were you shopping it around to allegedly? Let me say this allegedly, because we got some litigious lurkers in here that like to threaten lawsuits and send lawsuits. Why were you allegedly shopping it around to networks and nobody was biting? And allegedly, you're using your TKO connections to buy the slot with Showtime. Allegedly. Allegedly. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. What
No, I agree, Kamal. I
is
just think.
true? What is true? Go ahead, Dean.
Hey, can you hear me clearly? Because you sounded a little chopped up, Kamal. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, sorry. I'm in the bed. Go ahead, speak.
Okay. I just want to say this, y'all. We not mad at Canelo fighting Bud or Turkey and all of these things. The problem is how people are going about it and what they're doing to try to big up these fighters. And what we mean by that is have no problem with Canelo fighting Bud. But dang, could you give us David Benavidez though? I mean, that was the whole reason why you wanted the man to sign over there in the first place. Wasn't we supposed to be getting the best fights that we wanted and all of this crazy stuff? Can we actually get the actual fights that we actually asked for? We don't mind this secondary. That's no problem. They want to take the man money, take the man money. It's no problem. But if you're going to use your marketing strategy to say you giving us the fights we want to see, and then I can name like 10 fights that you didn't give us that we actually want to see. That's where my problem is at. And then when you taking shots at Tim Tszyu, when you tried to shit on David Benavidez, when you let David Morrell go in there and fight a drug cheat, it's things like that that I have a problem with. Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero on 141st Street on the Ave where people selling Jamaican beef patties at. I might have a little issue with that. You want all the big fights, but it's funny. But Turkey and them know how to stack a card when it comes to putting in Saudi Arabia. But then Terence and Bud, you got TKO tryouts for a janitor and a substitute teacher to fight. That's my problem. Do stuff the right way. That's my problem. Actually build up the fighters that deserve to be built up. That's my problem. And you want all these ambassadors for Riyadh season, but you've done nothing for Abdullah Mason yet. Just
Man,
say.
you want to tell me let me tell you what my problem is.
Go ahead.
They out here, man, shoot. Hey, I'm gonna hate on Canelo right now. What they got this man up here lying. I don't know whether he lying to try to sell the fight. I don't know if he lying trying to save face. They just had this man get up there on that ring interview talking about, okay, say something whenever we name a fighter better than Terence Crawford. They done named Marvin Hagler. They named Floyd Mayweather. They named Bivol. They named the whole Evander Holyfield. They named a whole bunch of people we know is better than Bud. Canelo stay quiet the whole time. Really? You think Bud is that good? Hell no. Hell the fuck no. And like what Dean is saying, man. I'll go ahead and disagree with one thing. Even in Saudi Arabia, they didn't know how to stack the cards or the fights, none of that. They was doing car giveaways like Oprah. They had an Eminem concert, and they still couldn't get people excited in the fights. Like, think about this: Canelo's last outing was in Saudi with school. Why he had only 3,000 people. The person who they saying is the face of boxing besides Tank had less than 3,000 people in the arena to see him fight. And like you said, people want Canelo and Benavidez. They don't want Canelo and Bud. They wanted Bud and Boots. And now we got Canelo and Bud, two people that ain't nobody want to see fight. And like you said, he keep on saying, "Oh, it's the fights y'all want to see." Nah, it ain't the fights y'all want to see. It's like this. It's literally like how they got them radio stations saying they play all the hits, but it's the same 40 songs every hour. That's not all the hits. That's 40 songs. And them songs ain't popular, but they're gonna get stuck in your head because you hear them so many damn times. Like, shoot, just yesterday, I was listening to this song. I parked. I went inside the Walmart, did some shopping. I came back. That song was on the radio again. Like that's how often they be playing this. They think like because it's gonna get stuck in your head the same way that music does, that means it's popular. Now, it'll be a song you don't even like. It'll be like the most corniest song you'll never heard in your life because you done heard it 5 times in a row. And your way to work, that shit stuck in your head. You find yourself humming that shit accidentally when you at the office. Like that's the same way that this Bud and Canelo fight is. It's gonna be one of them things that you talk about accidentally just because you've been hearing about it so damn much. But ain't nobody excited for that. I know I'm not. So what was that Mexican Independence Day weekend? I'm gonna find something else to do, man. I might go ahead and get myself some quesadillas or something. Because that fight is not something I'm excited for. I ain't gonna lie. On top of that, not even knowing what the undercard looking like the only other card that I've heard of from Turkey I'm even excited for is Benavidez and Yarde. And then seeing Devin Haney get the shit smacked out of him by Brian Newman Jr. That's it. Like the fights this last weekend, the fights this last weekend was actually pretty good. So we got to see Gabe Rosado back in the ring. He got a first
Oh
round knockout.
yeah.
I was happy about that because man, I've been missing watching Gabe fight. I feel like he just got the short end of the stick with luck because he was willing to fight anybody. For
Yo,
real. Like I feel like the point in his career that took a bad turn was when K9 Bundridge didn't want to fight him for that IBF title and decided to fight Ishai Smith instead. And that's why Gabe went up to fight Golovkin because K9 didn't want to give him that shot. So that's the only reason Gabe went up to fight Golovkin because Golovkin had the belts. So like if it wasn't for that, I think Gabe would have ended up a world champion. I think he would have beat K9, but Gabe ain't never been in a boring fight. Never ever. He always went out there, fought his heart out each time. And for a dude with only 11 amateur fights, came from working in a diner, didn't really have a big amateur background. He was one of the people they said started boxing late. For him to come out, fight the people that he did, beat the people he did, then like even at times there were some fights he got robbed in just because he wasn't really that guy that they wanted to be up there. But it was good to see him back in the ring. And then Duarte, I know why they're going hard at Duarte. It's because they can't believe that Ryan Garcia knocked his ass out. That's what happened. See, looking at that whole turkey thing, like Dean was saying,
Hey,
they
I
got
didn't see that
assassins.
fight. What happened to Kenneth Sims and Duarte?
It went the distance, and
Okay,
Duarte won.
so here for bitching, here for booty holes, called and said, I saw it because shout out for Pull Out Bandit, that he accused Oscar Duarte of being on PEDs. Hey, here for booty hole. How can you possibly be upset with me for saying I think Terence looks like a juice monster? Then you claim that I can't say it, but yet you can claim Oscar Duarte is? Man, that's mighty interesting. Go ahead, though. I just thought,
Yeah, but my suspicion is this because they got that whole side over there of Turkey ambassadors and all this and that, Devin Haney and the Bub Buddies and all that. Keyshawn Davis was part of that group, and you know how they was trying to build him up. And we seen that he went in with Madueno and ended up going the full 12 rounds, even though Madueno was slow and flat-footed, and he could have probably stopped dude if he knew how to throw body shots, but he wasn't able to knock dude out. And they was trying to hype Keyshawn Davis as like this monster and like this knockout puncher and everything like that. And then after that, we see Madueno get slept by Oscar Duarte. That's right. Oscar Duarte went in there and slept Madueno that Keyshawn Davis wasn't able to do. And I think he had like another knockout performance too. And this is him coming off his loss to Ryan Garcia where he got stopped. So that's the other thing. Like they trying to go ahead. I suspect everything linked to and it all goes back to Tank. We've seen what Tank did to Ryan Garcia. But then Ryan Garcia, he smacked Duarte, he
hey,
smacked Devin Haney, and people ain't happy about that. So
hey,
that
King
I
of Hate,
think I think this is it.
King
What's
of
up?
Hate. If Fanon about to like where I'm going with this, because this is guy, but I don't care, Fanon. Hey, Tim Bradley. Tim
yeah.
Bradley, let me talk to you, dog.
I think, hey, Deem, I think I'll be all right.
You be hey Tim, hey y'all. Anybody
I'll be
listening to
right
my
back. Y'all
voice?
still good? Y'all still
Yeah, we
good?
good.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want anybody to hear my voice. If anybody out there hating on you, talking crazy about you, talking behind your back, saying they can't stand you and they hate you, just understand it's a thin line between love and hate. They'll come around. If Timothy Bradley could come around
Uh,
when it comes to Gervonta Davis, anybody could come around, y'all. Do you understand? All that means is that all these years, he ain't never believed none of the shit he was saying. It was just pure hate. Because think about it, y'all. How now Timothy Bradley all of a sudden, hold on, y'all. Oh, somebody coming past. Now Timothy Bradley all of a sudden, y'all, trying to talk about Tank resume and who he for. Like Timothy Bradley ain't
man,
already know this. Like Timothy Bradley didn't already know this. Stop it.
I
Hey,
don't think he's
y'all.
coming around. I think he was just released from his shackles because Top Frank ain't on ESPN no more. He said it's okay. You been a good on boy. You free now. You free now.
Oh, he
Go
was
ahead
a
and
good
say what
old
you want to
boy.
say.
He was just being
Company
a good
man. He was a
old
company
boy.
man. Good old company man.
Oh, Tim, I'm just glad it's good. Come to the dark side, Tim. It's okay. Scoop ball head. You scoop ball head. Look, you gotta pick the side, my guy. Pick a side, fam. Which one do you want to stay on, Tim? Tank's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I know the Tank fans gonna come at me. You're damn right we is, you goddamn faker.
Y'all
Get
know
the,
that was
get the
just all
tiki
dissing,
torches and
bro.
the pitchforks. Get the tiki
That
torches
was
and
all
the
disrespect.
pitchforks. The way, if I say this, Dave, I will disagree with you slightly because not all haters gonna come around. You ain't never gonna find me liking Devin Haney. Fuck that nigga. That's what I'm just saying.
Dang, my fault, y'all. They out here wilding this
And
morning.
I will
Uh,
disagree with you too, Dean. I will disagree with you on this. I do have a problem with Crawford and Canelo because Canelo's holding up and retarding the division by holding on those belts. So he's blocking progress of guys who actually need the belts because we know Canelo doesn't need the belts. Guys that he's ducking, like Pacheco, Diego Pacheco, like Christian and Billy, and in this case, Hamza Shiraz, even Iselius Iglesias, the Cuban knockout artist. He's ducking those guys, and the WBO is facilitating corruption in boxing by ranking Crawford number one and removing the people that they had number one. I think Pacheco was number one before. So if Canelo dropped the belts and he chose to fight Crawford, fine. I'm okay with it. Whatever. Turkey wants to waste his money and lie to the public and gaslight the public and say that this is bigger than Floyd versus Manny. This is bigger than Floyd versus
McGregor.
Pacquiao versus McGregor. This is bigger than Canelo Triple G 1 and 2. If he wants to gaslight the public, fine, do that. But don't retard the progress of the division. Don't stall out fighters who are working hard, who are putting in work in the division, and then put Crawford off of a fight where many people thought he lost to Madrimov, said he was going to rematch Madrimov, never did. Don't put him to the head of the line over those who put in the work in the division. Don't hold down David Benavidez and David Morrell and keep them away, play keep away from Canelo Alvarez, and then the WBA and WBC play games and collude to move those guys up to 175 and have them fight each other, and then they have Bumlonga mandated to fight Canelo, but they never mandated David Morrell Jr. So yes, I do have
Oh,
a problem with the political aspect and the corruption that's involved with making this fight happen. I
you know what's
100%
happened with
do.
that? About Morel and Berlanga. See that was and that goes with the whole thing that the WBA be doing, which got people confused because Canelo is the super champion, and when Morel was the WBA world champion, Berlanga was either Berlanga or Mungia that was actually his mandatory, and that was the problem there because when he dropped the belt in
Bumlonga was his mandatory. I didn't mean to interrupt you. He was his mandatory, and the WBA mandated to fight, and Eddie Hearn colluded with the WBA to never make that fight. Same thing he did with what was his name? The Gorilla. What was that British bum that Canelo fought in Guadalajara? John Ryder. That British bum
oh yeah
that the
he was a
WBA
WBO.
mandated. Yeah, yeah. But the WBA had mandated him to fight David Morrell Jr. and Eddie the Bum Hearns kept John Ryder away from David Morrell and admitted that they were going to do it. Go
No,
ahead. I'm
that was
sorry. I just want.
yeah
It was the
because that was
WBA.
when well, it happened because Andre pulled out the Parker fight. It was Zach Parker.
Well, that was
That was
partially
the
on
final.
Andre. That was partially on
Yep.
Andre, but Ryder was the WBA mandatory for Morrell, and they mandated the fight. The WBA did twice, and then Andre pulling out of the Parker fight over stupid bullshit. Again, he can be part of his worst enemy at times.
Yep.
Yet he allowed for John Ryder to slide into the WBO, but it's a fact that the WBA played games, and these last two fighters were supposed to fight Morrell, Bumlonga, and John Ryder. And not only did they duck Morrell, but they colluded with Eddie Hearn to duck Morrell, and then Canelo fought him. So go ahead. I just wanted to put that context in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of stuff that go on with the WBA that could be fixed if they went ahead and just did what all the other sanctioning bodies do. They got their world champion and interim champion. That's it. If they would have stuck to that and do it the way the other sanctioning bodies do, people wouldn't be confused about that shit. So the other thing I was going to say is whenever it comes to Canelo and Bud, you know that the whole thing is Turkey trying to get Shiraz that undisputed belt. That's what it is. So whoever wins is going to fight Shiraz next. Turkey already been saying it. So he trying to get either Canelo or Bud up in the ring against Shiraz. And he'd probably be happier if it's Bud because that Bud could probably be an easier opponent for Shiraz than Canelo is. Because with Canelo, that he's gonna have some fire coming back. But with Bud, the Bud size, cause he knew like yeah he packed on that muscle, but man if he don't got the stamina, if he ain't used to it, if he ain't able to throw punches the same way, like weighing in is something, and being out the ring for 2 years is gonna be even sparring. It's gonna be a whole lot different when it comes time for an actual fight. And if he gas out against Canelo, he probably gonna get clipped. But like that's probably what Turkey hope that maybe it go to decision, and maybe they can go ahead and say Bud win a decision because I don't see him stopping Canelo. Like I said, if he does stop Canelo, man, there's gonna be some fishy shit going on there. They definitely got to investigate that. But like for Bud to lose, I think that's worse for Turkey and his plans because again, it goes back to Hamza Shiraz. He wants Shiraz to get the undisputed belt. Like he was saying, come on, the way that they don't move all them other people up out the way and put Bud #1 for WBO. Shoot, that's the same thing WBC did for Devin Haney when he was getting ready to fight Jose Ramirez. Like as soon as that fight was announced, before they even stepped in the ring, they already had Devin ranked #1 for WBC at 147. He ain't even started 147 yet. So they just doing all this stuff for whoever they're talking about is, Turkey's people. And that's what it is. Like Canelo been
Hey,
saying it.
real quick. Let me do a couple things. Hey, Jeep Red Boy, thank you for the $10 holler, brother. Thank you so much. Sunny Boy Boxing, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, man. Good to see you around. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Trey Skills said, Fanon, they forget how KO cooked Blue and Clay. Let me tell you, I did not see that. I didn't see a debate between KO Boxing, Blue Blood, and Clay Moraine, but those dudes are food for KO Boxing. Absolute food. Easy work, easy money, easy. Because they're not honest. First of all, Claymore never has a fucking opinion. He just has an argument against whatever you say, so he can never get pinned down. That's what he thinks. Anyway, I pinned his ass down. And Blue Blood just be lying and making up shit. So pretty much you can just trap this nigga off his inconsistencies every time. They're both garbage. So yeah, KO can absolutely swarm them dudes. R.J. Mill said if KO and KQ pull up, this would be a domestic panels ever respected a whole panel. Thank you, Jamal. I mean, thank you, Jay Mills. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, KO's good people. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, I'll say this because this last thing before I hop out. That
Okay.
whole thing with what was it? With the Shiraz and Canelo. See, Canelo, you see, he be talking to Crawford. He's like, yeah, I know Turkey's your daddy, but he gonna be mad after this fight. He ain't gonna be happy with you. Like Canelo been talking that shit because I think he knows what's up. He knows that they're gonna try to get that Shiraz fight next. But watch, I bet you that he ain't gonna give Shiraz that shot. If we end up beating Crawford, he gonna go ahead and say, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and fight by mandatory because they've been waiting. Because Canelo been on one. He been talking about that every press conference when they ask him about Turkey, he been talking about how mad Turkey's gonna be. So I give him props for that. He's gonna go ahead and not hold the hands. He'll take the money, but he ain't holding hands. So that's cool. That's cool. I give him props for that. As long as he ruins Turkey's plans, it's all good.
This nigga said Claymore looked like Kamala the Ugandan giant. That's funny. What's on your mind? Come on. What's on your mind? Come on.
I gotta agree with my guy, the #1 hater on here, Phoenix. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo says "F you" to Turkey and does not fight that big old Shiraz dude. Because what did he say about Benavidez? All Benavidez brings is 25 pounds, 25 extra pounds. Well, he could say the same thing about Shiraz, but at least Benavidez is presenting him with a huge payday. For him, Shiraz is all risk, no reward. So we know that Canelo's babied. We know that he's pampered. We know that there's corruption involved in moving the dangerous fights away from him. We know that there's some good fights at 168 that folks want to see of unheralded guys, even if they move the two most dangerous guys that he and the sanctioning bodies colluded to get out of the division in Morrell and Benavidez. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does find a way out of that Shiraz fight. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like what's his name, Eddie Cartel Reynoso and him go to Mexico City and have a meeting with Mauricio, and they make Christian and Billy versus Shiraz rather than Shiraz versus Canelo. They'll do some buffoonery like that. And once again, what Deontay Wilder says, what's understood does not have to be explained. If you're having to tell me and gaslight me and saying that this Z-Side Bud versus Canelo Alvarez fight is the biggest fight this century in boxing, you're lying, and you're trying to sell it, and you're not even putting it on pay-per-view because you know you're afraid of what the numbers would actually be, the pay-per-view buys, then you don't believe what you're selling. So it's a gaslight fest. And when you have, and I sent you the videos on this, Fanon, when you have Crawford slandering the great Manny Pacquiao, Crawford, I'm telling you this, motherfucker, excuse my French, you will never be considered as good as Manny Pacquiao. You
No.
can try to say that Manny was juiced. Manny
Hold
can
on.
technically sue
You
you.
can't say that. Terence can't say Manny was juiced.
He's insinuated it. Let me hold back, Crawford. Let me hold back all the Bud buddies
Don't
that I
get
know are
sued,
recording me.
bud. Don't get sued, bud.
You can insinuate. I'm not going to say that Crawford said it, but he's
There you
insinuated
go.
on multiple occasions that that Manny was juiced or he wasn't clean. He said it on multiple occasions. You better be careful because Manny did sue Floyd when Floyd said those things, Crawford. And Floyd was much bigger and is much bigger to this day than you'll ever be. So you cannot go on there and then you hype up Canelo and you gaslight Canelo. And then Canelo, you say, you fight nobody to Crawford and then say Crawford's better than Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. Stop gaslighting the public. Stop having dinner with each other before this fight and then pushing each other the next day like you have some kind of fake beef. This whole fight is fake. From the WBO's corruption, putting Crawford at number one at 168, when many people thought he lost to Madrimov, to the fake beef that you're generating, to Canelo saying one day, you fight nobody, you fight one, Errol Spence. And then you're calling him better than Bernard Hopkins. You're calling him better than Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. Stop the damn blasphemy. Stop the cap. That's all this fight is, Fanon. Non-stop cap, non-stop corruption, non-stop gaslighting. They don't have the balls to put this in the free market, Fanon, where they'd have to reveal the pay-per-view buys or there would be rumors about the pay-per-view buys. So instead, they pull a trick with their TKO promotions thing where they put it on Netflix for free and have it on the WWE, which has real fans, which is bigger than Canelo ever will be, which is bigger than Z-Side Bud ever will be, and they're hyping up this fight, this cherry pick. I will be watching college football, as will most people who have a brain, instead of this fight. Because I heard that they're having auditions for the undercard on American Idol. Dudes are going on American Idol singing, we are the world, we are the children. It's up to you to make a better place, so let's start winning. That's how they're fighting out the undercard Fanon on this Z-Side Bud Canelo Alvarez. As far as who is under suspicion, I gotta say this. I don't care about Z-Side Bud and PEDs because he hasn't tested positive, so I can't make that claim. That's my opinion. I think that there is enough stuff on record for me to for how he comported himself when it came to Errol Spence before leading up to that fight and then afterwards is still not giving the guy the flowers. How he's talked about legends like Manny Pacquiao, the greatest boxing karaoke singer we'll ever see. I want to talk to my promoter, Mr. Al Heyman. I think there's enough to not like the guy for what he said on record, for how he's discredited legends on record, for how his stupid Spirit Squad, Shakap Twitterson and Keyshawn Davis with his fake apology, comports himself in public. So I don't even need to go to the PEDs. I don't think the guy's on PEDs. But with Canelo, we know he is because he tested positive. We know. Well, I'm going to say
He
this.
was.
We know he was. Let me clarify because I know some people like to snippet stuff. We know that he's part of a gym that is infested with drug cheats. We know that Cash Patel, Tom Homan, all those, Pam Bondi, Christy Nome, I'm calling on all of you. This is an exclusive phenomenon I'm giving to you. I'm calling all for Trump's cabinet to go to Eddie Cartel Reynoso's gym and investigate that gym because we know it's the center of boxing corruption. So with Canelo, there is a cloud over him because he tested positive and they tried to bury it. And he's part of a gym where guys keep on pissing hot or have been associated with pissing hot. And I'll end with this, Fanon. Dude, I think that the goal of whoever sent you this lawsuit or communication, I don't know. I didn't see it. I can't say what it is. I'm not mentioning any names because I don't know. Again,
it's a note. I'll call it a note because that's all it is a note.
It's a note. I think they're trying to take you away from what you do the best. And
You breaking up. Come
can
on.
You hear me now,
broke
Fanon?
Now I can, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think some of these dudes are trying to take you away from what you do the best, bro. And you, when you're on your game, you don't have to rehearse videos. You just kind of do it. You go and you drink water when you're doing these videos. And if they can try to break up the movement that you have, the revolution that you have, you are like the Lawrence Fishburne of boxing talk. You know, Lawrence Fishburne is one of the most intelligent, if not, I think he's the most intelligent person in Hollywood. That dude could go to Juilliard and give classes. He could go to Broadway. He's that intelligent. You are the Lawrence Fishburne with your law background and your unique analysis of this boxing game on YouTube. There's no one else like you. So these other dudes that, I'm not even going to mention names. I know for a fact that some of them were the biggest PBC fanboys and Errol Spence fanboys, and then they switched all of a sudden. And I've heard stories about the rumors of why they did what they did. I'm not going to mention names, and I'm not going to mention the stories. But you've always been genuine. So don't let these people bring you down, Fanon.
No, I'm good.
Don't let them adjust who you are, because they're going to do what they're going to do. They're phonies. They've been exposed numerous times, including by Errol Spence directly. They've been exposed by others. So if they're cowards, they want to hide away from debates, then let them do it. Period. We don't need to mention any names because this movement is bigger than any of these names. And I'm not mentioning any specific names, so you guys can snippet this and take it to any channel. I'm not mentioning any specific names. Let's bring some levity to your top. Like people in the WNBA, Fanon, dropping DIDLDOS
Oh, that
on the
shit was
court.
hilarious.
Like my guy Benny Johnson. You see that Benny Johnson video, Fanon? I see them having in Vegas now. There is bets going on. What color will the next DIDLDOS be that's dropped on the WNBA court?
That shit was hilarious.
People, you guys are asking for equal pay, which I revealed to you, Fanon, was a sham when Amy Schumer asked for equal pay to Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. You don't get equal pay if you're not as talented, Amy Schumer, as you are as Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
You don't get equal pay unless you're selling as many tickets, and you ain't selling.
So exactly. And Amy Schumer, the only reason she's funny, not funny. The only reason she's
real
funny.
Quick, let me say something. Okay, we can wrap up. I got a couple things, and I got to go.
Yeah. The only reason she got where she was because we know who her family is, the senator. So she wanted equal pay to Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. So you guys are stopping games because somebody's weed falls off, and you say equal pay, but in the NFL, your helmet falls off. They're not stopping the play, calling a timeout. You guys are arresting, and let me say this, Fanon. I condemn anyone who throws DIDLDOS onto the court. I condemn that behavior, but you are arresting mofos who are doing that? Come on, WNBA. That's too far. With that, I'm out, Fanon. Deuces.
All right, bro. Get back. Come on. Thank you. All right, so let's do this. Let me say this first and foremost. Somebody said Steve So Cold yesterday did something. Listen, Steve So Cold Nelson is not getting anywhere near my booty hole. Okay, Steve So Cold Nelson, nigga, go sew a dress. I don't give a fuck about your opinion, Steve So Cold Nelson. Nigga, go sew something. Okay, go draw your nice little pretty pictures and try to make some gartered underbelt. I don't give a fuck about Steve So Cold fucking Nelson. Okay, go sew something, nigga. Go sew something. Go make a suit. Okay, do something like that. Sew some jingly tassels on Terence Crawford's drawers or something. I don't give a fuck what he has to say. Now, as far as the not shutting it, look, bro, I did not do anything wrong. I did not defame Terence Crawford. I didn't come close to defaming Terence Crawford. But more importantly, Terence, if that's your attorney, Terence, if it's your attorney, you have to tell me if you said If anything that I said you believe is defamatory, and I don't have a word problem, if you can show me that I know it's not true, I will take that down. However, do not get it twisted, blue blood. Do not get it twisted, all you people that try to get brownie points off me by creating some big spectacle that didn't exist. Dog, you're not going to do shit to me, Steve Nelson. You're not going to lay a finger on me, bro. You're not going to say anything to me, because guess what? If you put your finger on me, bro, I'm going to sue your ass for everything you owe. Terence Crawford puts his hands on me, comes close to putting his hands on me. I'm going to sue him for everything he has. If you, Steve Stoll Nelson, touch me, I'm still going to sue Terence Crawford for everything Terence Crawford had. Because Terence Crawford has, without a doubt, done things, in my opinion, to incite disrespect and to drag my brand down into the ground. I want to know how it is Blue Blood Sports TV knew that you were going to quote unquote sue me before I said anything. Even though you didn't threaten to sue me, you said cease and desist. That's what you did. I told your attorney or whoever he was that none of the shit that he wrote down is defamation, because you have to prove that I know it's not true, and you can't do it. So I'm not going to be intimidated by these guys, not at all. However, I am going to talk a lot about Terence Crawford. And every time I talk about Terence Crawford, I am going to definitely explain. Fanon about to take Bud's turkey money. No, I'm serious, man. If you guys sent me some fake shit, don't send me no fake shit. If some other fake shit comes across, bro, I'm suing somebody. I'm telling you. If some other shit come across, you send me some shit on paper and you don't call me, dog, I'm going to think you're not really that person. And you guys are committing some fucking illegal acts if that's the case. And that's the realest shit. That's the realest shit he ever spoke. I'm telling you. Fanon said what the man looked like, not what he was on something. Exactly. Mark, let me tell you something. These guys claim that me saying that Bud cheated with his gloves was defamation. And that I thought that the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez would be the battle of the cheaters. Both of those are my opinion. Both of those are just opinion. Opinion about something that has not happened yet is not defamation. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't even get why you would bother me with that shit. But whatever. Bud, a.k.a. Omaha Buckwheat, laughed my ass off. I'm telling you, bro, I personally think you guys think you're slick. That's what I think you do. I think you guys are fucking a bunch of criminals. This is my personal opinion. And I'm not even going to name names. I think you're a bunch of petty criminals that think you can get away with sending people bogus paperwork. I would not put bogus paperwork for somebody that would go. Let me tell you what I've seen people do. In order to bolster Bud's pay-per-view numbers, somebody took out an account with pay-per-view.com and claimed it did 250,000 pay-per-views. And then they cited pay-per-view.com. All you got to do is pay $25 to pay-per-view.com, and pay-per-view.com will say whatever you want them to say because it's public relations. You send some shit to my house that ain't even real. Ain't even real because, dude, this was supposed to be, it's registered. I'm supposed to sign for that. I didn't sign for that. You just sent it to me and just on some basic fucking paperwork. You didn't even have it in an envelope. You know what I mean? You didn't have it stamped and dated and timed or nothing. Anyway, shit, they want that glove thing to go away, dude, but you can't get on me because I said it was my opinion. Anyway, that is not defamation. That is a truthful account of conversations that I've had with real people. In case you think you can sue me for defamation, Blue Blood. In case you think you can concoct some shit, Blue Blood. I wouldn't put that shit past you for nothing. You fake-ass Claymore with his fake-ass truck. You remember when Claymore Rain used to drive around in his fake-ass truck? He used to go down to like somebody's job site and like give them some money to allow him to drive around in a circle in their truck for a little while and talk on the phone like hey, I'm at work. You remember when Claymore Rain used to be at work all the time in his truck before all of a sudden magically he had a studio and can do it any time of the day? You remember that fake shit that they pulled off? You remember when the whole Hanos clan got together and they had their whole logo for a Hanos clan, and they all would come in one group together to argue with me. You remember all the bots that these people would pay to come by my channel and say bad things to me, show penises and things like that? You remember that? I think you guys are all a part of that same group of bullshit, bro. That's what you are. You're a bunch of con men. You're not fixers. You're con men. Because if you could fix me, you'd fix me. So why don't you just do me a favor? Stop lying to me. Stop trying to intimidate me with things I didn't do. Lying about lawsuits that never happened. Lying about lawsuits that never happened, didn't happen, nor were they going to happen. Totally a byproduct of your imagination. You know why? Because you can't touch me. Because you don't actually have the ability to cause me any physical harm. You guys want to create a storm around my name. Well, I am very disgusted. Rent a parking lot is crazy. That's what he did. He would like rent a truck, drive around in a circle, talking the entire time. Man, that dude didn't break a sweat. Had that truck and never drove anywhere. Exactly. Had a truck, wasn't never driving a dang on place. You guys are phonies, man. You guys are fakes. You're phonies. You guys have been fakes and phonies. It's my personal opinion that Showbiz the Adult is completely fabricated. It is my personal opinion that Blue Blood Sports TV is completely fabricated. It is my personal opinion. And since it's my personal opinion, it cannot be defamation because I'm not telling you it's a fact that I know not to be true. I don't even know Claymore Rain's real name is Claymore Rain, really. Paymore Rain. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Pay more, make it rain. Who knows if that's even his real name, bro? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He never unloaded nothing, never broke a sweat, nothing. Just driving around all day, but got time to talk to me. I would appreciate it if I find out you guys have a concerted effort to get me. That is collusion. Yeah, it is. It's collusion. Anyway, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for chopping to me. He said he was on for a while. No, he said he was on for a while. No breaks. I'm telling you, man. Phoenix just said fell apart when Ryan Garcia crucified their Lord in failure. Devin Shiesty, by the way of the left hook. I ain't heard of Hano since then. He said, facts, Fanon. They're fabricated. I think it was a fabricated note. I do, because of the argument that he made was to tell me I don't have complete freedom of speech. That I don't have complete immunity for freedom of speech. I'm like, bro, that's not defamation. You sent me a note about defamation. What are you talking about? First Amendment freedom of speech, y'all had that when y'all telling untruth so Martin can give his opinion. Bro, I can absolutely give my opinion. And I said my opinion in both videos. But Shitbox Podcast wants to frame me for somebody that committed defamation. Look, you little ugly nigga, and your little ugly nigga friend. Man, y'all are terrible. Anyway, I'm out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. And with that, thank y'all so much for supporting me today. Deuces.